another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your crumpets together because it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. What's going on? What's going on to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers, honey. I know you got all of your crumpets together, my darling, because it is time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meats. What's your tea, children? What is your tea? I had to come in a little bit later because I'm sitting up here. I had to fix my little din and carrying on, honey. I was making me some nachos, and I had to get this burger done because I had this ground beef up in here that needed to have been cooked like right away. And I didn't want it to go bad, so I had to chop it up real quickly and carrying on. Yes, I am pouring me a bottle of wine, a glass of wine, a bottle. I'm pouring from the bottle into my glass, okay? This is just regular old white Zinfandel today. Ooh. Oh, okay. That's cute, lovely, and carrying on. Wait a minute, where are my peeps? I'm looking for my co-hosts and them to come on up in here. And I know that I sent the link, but I got to make sure everything is everything and everything is okay. But it's going to be one of those nights, children. One of those nights you feel like getting down hard. Okay. So having said that, we're gonna take on a topic that we should have did last night, that we were trying to do, but we didn't. Okay, because we danced around it and time got away from us because of the other stuff that was on board. Yeah. And look at this, I'm fucking up. I'm gonna be trying to send the link and I sent it to the wrong people. Ha ha ha. Okay. And that there is that. Nonetheless, I want to make sure that everything and everybody is doing what they're supposed to do today. Okay, with the chat, everybody, you know what? Okay, they're gonna force me to have to get over here to Bigo because I see all of my people now are fucking with this goddamn Bigo shit, and everybody is over there, and I'm like, okay, but that's okay. Let them do what they got to do, and then we can still move on over here. As I said, one of the topics that we're going to discuss tonight is called toxic parenting. And I want to get into that because we didn't get a chance to do it last night, and we had danced around it for a minute or two. And in dancing around it, I didn't hit it like I wanted to because I wanted to get down and get specific with a few things. As far as understanding what it is with making sure that we understand the difference between toxic parenting and then also understanding that people, there's just certain things, our lives are destined to do X, Y, and Z and carrying on. Hold on, I gotta take this because there's somebody trying to get in. Let me take a commercial break real quick. This is gonna be a fucked up show. Okay, I see this already. Yeah. Okay, let me go here.
Okay, black on. Get into it. Black on. Look at that David Ford right there. That's his thing. Black on. He don't know Tom. Look at that David Ford. That's his thing. He don't know Tom. Yeah. Yes! Oh, here we go. Oh, I can't see the demons. I can't see the demons, but I can see the light.
We are creating black luxury across this country.
Oh, okay, there we go. Hey, we are back. I'm sitting up here tapping shit. And hell, all right. I had to run outside and do this and do that. Somebody had pulled up and things, and oh, it's all good. So we are back, and we're going to get into this show and do it the way that we know how to do it, honey. I'm waiting on my co-host, whatever they decide to show up, if they show up. But nonetheless, let's get here. Let me read to y'all how I wrote this up today so that y'all can understand where we're going, okay? Now today, like I said, one of the topics um is going to be the toxic parenting again. I'm so sick and tired of my people, baby. To see how Black folks like to shop, you can either tell when folks got their stimulus, their income taxes, or their food stamps, and sometimes all three. But because this Easter weekend happens to be the first of the month as well, darling, either I'm on my period, which I believe I am because I'm late. Okay, I'm late. And everything just got on my fucking nerves today. Okay, with Black folks and how they shopping and shit. Okay, then we're gonna talk about this story. I'm gonna show y'all the news clip that an 8-year-old was vaccinated, and they claim mistakenly. Really, really, we're gonna talk about that. Okay, um, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna stir that pot up because I got some choice words about that particular shenanigan. Toxic parenting. After watching Tina Turner documentary and the genius ARETHA, I want us to look at the effects of what toxic parenting is, and I want us to discuss if it leads to a child's destiny or to a child's demise. Okay? And then also I want to get into teenagers on the rampage. Okay? Because why are we having such a surge of teenage violence? Okay? So those are some of the topics that we're going to be dealing with today. And I'm gonna start here. Let me go with the obvious stuff, honey, because um uh this whole Black folks thing, and let me start there because I think that's where my festivity is. You know, um I go to Walmart chair. First off, no, I didn't go to Walmart first. I went over here to the little discount mall area. Because y'all know I went to go and um he's I'm coming. Uh-huh. I went to go and buy my true laundry detergent. Y'all know I support, I'm trying to do everything that I can to support Black owned businesses, and I want eventually I want for my entire house to be mostly African American products, if not all. But I know African Americans don't do Miracle Whip, honey. So okay, enough said. So uh, so having said that, we're looking to get this thing together. And I went over here to go to the store, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all these cars. Now, one of the things that just unnerves me, and I think this is when I started. I'm trying to drive through, and you got these little motherfuckers just walking because they feel they can walk. Okay, all zigzagging and crisscrossing and thing. So now you're trying to, not hit nobody. Okay, at the same time of not wanting to hit someone. Then you got folks just stopping because they feel they can stop. Okay. And because, oh, this is my door, so I'm just gonna stop and hold up traffic. So there's Sister Lean, honey, could get her ass out the back seat of the car, not the front seat. She in the back seat on the driver's side. So she done hit this damn door to where she done made it difficult for me to go around the car because I don't want to hit the goddamn door. Okay. This child ain't put on no damn flashes or nothing. You just stopped the damn car. So now I go around you. Now I'm in the opposite lane because traffic want to start coming my way. Okay. So in coming my way, then I'm trying to move over, but now here these motherfuckers come running across, and then they don't want to just cross like they got someplace to do. They want to take their time and scuff their goddamn feet. Okay. So that was just on my brain cell today. I just, that was just bothering me today. I'm like, okay, this ain't a good day for me. not to be out like this. You know what I'm saying? Let me hurry up so I can go home because I know it's me. Okay, I know it's me. I know it's me. So fine. I go in here trying to get the damn parking spot. I got my spot and carrying on. Motherfuckers ride my ass and things. So okay, go in here, get my stuff, come on back out. Now I'm going down here to Walmart. So found me a spot at Walmart. Okay, go in here, and I was doing cool until I got to the checkout line. When I got to the checkout line, this is how I say you can tell when somebody that got their goddamn food stamps. Because as I'm looking in this woman's at her basket and the shit that she got in here, I really need for us to do a show on that on food stamp etiquette and food stamp buying and how to stretch your food stamp dollars so that it can make sense. Okay. Now, granted, many of us are getting the stimulus stamps. Okay. Some of y'all are getting a little extra, okay, at this, that, and the other. And to show y'all the extra, I know my particular case, I only get $16 a month, okay, that I had qualified for because with my unemployment, they told me I made too much money. So now I own, and for a single person, I think the full grant of food stamps is like $198, okay? So, all right. So what happened for the stimulus, they started giving folks extra stamps. So I know, like on the 16th of the month is when mine kicked in, and then I would get the extra. Okay, and I was like, oh shit. So that threw me, right? I'm blessed to say that, at this particular stage of the game, the freezer is full and carrying on. So I don't have to spend them as readily as before. Because I'm single, I don't have to um uh and I don't cook like I used to. I used to always have a spread and carrying on. Even though when I do cook, it's hard for me to cook for one person because it don't look right. You know, so I'm constantly overcooking and carrying on. And then since my surgeries and stuff, I can't eat as heavy as I once did. Okay, so there are moments where, sometimes I say, okay, I'm good because it's going to be leftovers, but then the leftovers will end up sitting because now my palate ain't for that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it pisses me off because I don't like throwing food away. So that's one thing because now, I got a little extra. So, I'm trying stuff that I would not usually try because it's like, okay, like I told y'all about the damn burgers, that damn Beyond Meat burger, okay, that I tried. I haven't done this Beyond Chicken shit, okay? I still got that in the refrigerator that I got to use before I go bed, right? Okay. But I'm looking at this woman's cart and baby, I'm looking and she got, the prepackaged stuff. All right. And I'm not saying that it's bad to buy that stuff. It's just that you got 4 kids here with you. And I'm looking at you buying crab legs and shit in the box. I'm looking at you buying uh all different kinds of little knickknacks. And what she reminded me of was when folks who were writing checks back in the day, and all of a sudden because they think they're finna get away with something, now they buying all the name brand shit, or they buying shit in excess and carrying on. You know, that's what it reminded me of. Okay. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And so now she got this whole big old thing. And I'm like, wow. Okay. And I just started laughing to myself. I said, okay, her food stamps must have hit because she's buying like to stock her refrigerator, but she's buying in all this shit to where, halfway through the month, this shit is going to be gone. Okay. You already know that. It's going to be gone because now you got all the quick shit that kids like to eat. And y'all talking to somebody who knows and understands about buying stuff quick because it's the quick shit that you buy so that you don't have to cook because everything else take time or whatever. Sometimes when you're hungry right away or you just lazy, don't feel like cooking, you get something quick. Then I'm looking at all the junk food she done bought. Now, listen, I ain't gonna get on her too bad because I just wouldn't spend $32 at the damn bread store to buy junk food, all the cupcakes and this, that, and the other. But I'm buying for not just myself, but nonetheless, I just bought all this goddamn junk food. But I'm saying, she got these kids, and now she done bought this and this and this and all this. She done got, the damn Halloween size candies and shit, and then she got the big old lunch thing bag of chips, the variety pack of chips and all this, 2 or 3 of those. And then I said, ooh, okay. Then before I got in the line, I'm walking through Walmart, and I said, well, no goddamn wonder everybody walking out of here with this damn shit. Okay. I need somebody in here. Didn't I say this is gonna be a fucked up show? This is my son. Hold on, y'all. Because I gotta tell him I'm on the air for him to sit down here and go through all these goddamn changes with me, right? Okay. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me bring Derek up in here. Derek, I'm bringing you up in here. Talk to the children for a minute while I take this call. Okay.
What's up? What's going on, everybody from Dish and Tea? This is your boy Derek from the Remix. I hope everything is going okay in your world. Amy, I agree about the food stamps. I don't. Okay, the food. But back in the day when I was eligible, I used to buy 30 breakfast, lunch, and dinners for 4 people, and that way, the only thing I would only need was milk. Oh, well, all right for your wonderful shopping skills, Miss Amy. Y'all know I'm coming in on the back end, so I'm rereading these comments so I can figure out where we at. Cause I'm good with feeling my way, honey. I'll figure something else out. Okay. The rudest of some of these youngsters. Ooh, we ain't gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about. Hey, Miss Barbara, I guess you in the room. I'm just. Hey to everybody. Hey to Eric. Hey to Amy. Hey to Miss Barbara, my girl. I haven't seen her in like 22 years and 72 Sundays. My brother Tracy. What's going on, Tracy? Philly in the house. My girl Amy from. Well, she's from Southern Maryland, but I always say Annapolis. So, girl, once I adopted you from Annapolis, that's whenever I introduce you to anybody, that's Amy from Annapolis. She's not from Annapolis, y'all. Don't put me in mind, but you know what I'm talking about. She's from down the country. But that's my girl. Oh my God, we've been friends for, I don't want to count the many years, but I don't know. We've been friends for a long time, and I'm grateful. So I see y'all was talking about food stamps. What was the subject on the food stamps? I know they said that the government was gonna give everybody $95 more a month on their food stamps. I don't know if that happened last month or if that's going to happen this month. I don't know, but if somebody can give me a little insight, or did they already do it, or they're going to boost it again? Because I know at one point in time they did give a little bit more on the stamps. So my question is, are they going to are they attempting to boost? Hey, Eric, praise the Lord. Okay,
what's going on?
Okay,
right.
Well, enlighten me on where I tried to fill it in, but you know what, Helena would have
guessed. As y'all know, I'm Big E from Get Off My Lawn Live, CEO of Nightheart Network. Okay, I've been in the show the whole time, but I've been trying to cook and eat, so now I'm going to be rude because I don't want my brother thinking that we ain't trying to help out. I am not on Bigo, sir. I am not. I'm here with you. Now, here's the thing, y'all. In terms of the discussion is, now that we are here at Easter and these people have these extra means of income to go shopping with, their shopping habits seem to be different. My regards and response to that is not completely. Understand that more times than not, Easter comes around this time of year. And this time of year, of course, is still in the midst of tax baller season, okay? Now, because we have extra means of income this time around, in other words, we got the stimulus money coming in. Some people got their small business loans going on. Some people are getting the enhanced food stamps and the enhanced unemployment benefits. So they dollars a little more than what they normally would be. So that being said, yes, some people, they are splurging in regards to that. But keep in mind, these industries, these big box stores are feeding into that frenzy. If you notice, when you go to Walmart or Kroger or whatnot, you see more television sets. You see more electronic equipment and video games. You see, when you go to the grocery stores, more crab legs available, more steaks, more big ticket items that people, if they have money, would invest in. And because they have money, they are investing in. Now, that being said, he basically mentioned, okay, we should get into a discussion about food stamp etiquette and spending your food stamps wisely. Half these folks, Well, no, I ain't gonna say half. Let's put about 20%. 20% of these people, they don't spend their allotted food stamp money on themselves. They use that as an opportunity to make additional cash for their other habits, so to speak. The two for one deal.
Okay.
Y'all all know what the 2-for-1 deal is about. Okay, I got
Okay.
$150 worth of stamps. You pay me 75, you can get this $150 worth of stamps. And then for that 75, I can buy what I really want to buy, which oftentimes is stuff like liquor and herbal medicines and other stuff, bad
Okay.
habit scenarios that we will not mention here on the show. But no, like I said, that's only part of the scenario. Now, the other thing is people understand that we still are in the midst of a full blown pandemic, y'all. I know some of the states have open things, open them busted wide open and whatnot. Go do your thing. And I know in terms of the pandemic, a lot of these stores they never closed at all during any of this. But that being said, you should be concerned if you are going in the store, whether it's a holiday or not, and everybody and their mama is up in there. Because even if they are masked up, they're not practicing proper social distancing in terms of some of the masks they wear. They be toilet paper thin, just good enough so they can be not vilified or be bothered. I have a mask, but sir, I can see your teeth through the mask. That's how thin it is. That's really not helping anything. Also, I do not understand why when you can find time, you find somebody to watch Man and them while you go to the club, go to the movies, go hang out with your homies, but then will not invest in that same thing when you need to do something important like go buy food for the family. I Parents, y'all know this throws y'all off when you bring them 2 or 3 kids to a grocery store and they see the candy and the cereal and whatnot. Oh, I want this, I want this. No, you're not going to properly concentrate on what you need to do at that point because not only are you shopping at that point, but you're parenting at the same time. And they do not understand why they cannot have what you want them to have. Okay, let's go to the comments here. What we got? Okay, lady was in the Walmart buying hella name brand food and being bougie because she was getting more or just getting her stamps. Absolutely, that's exactly what it was, Amy. Because these people have these extra means of income, you figure I might as well try something I ain't never tried before. I done had steak before. This time I try steak and crab legs. I done got one lobster tail, but now I got money. I'm gonna get 3 lobster tails. And notice that
All
they're
right.
packaging them.
Okay.
They are
Now, now,
packaging. Go ahead.
now, let us also let us not always we like to tell people, we like to give our insight, but we most definitely pay homage to those who spend their stamps wisely. We're grateful to you. You know what I'm saying? You guys are a little bit above the norm, but it is what it is, and unfortunately, that has been going on for years, even back when they had paper food stamps. So,
Exactly.
I mean, the government when they first initiated, which was the dumbest thing in the world I ever heard, when they first initiated the EBT card, one of their main reasonings for issuing this EBT card was because they thought that it would stop people from selling food stamps. Guess what? You
Mm-hmm.
thought wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You thought real wrong. Because
Mm-hmm.
back then, I was thinking the same thing too. But then I was like, well, you know what? Unfortunately, we live in a society when one man fixed something, another man finds a way to get around it. And boo, they did.
Like I said, folks, there are people who sit there and spend their entire day scamming, thinking of schemes in order to benefit themselves, not having to work or not having to support themselves with a legitimate income. There are people that will sit there and be like, okay, this is the stamps. Let me look up what the stamps consist of. Let me look up how you can get them or whatnot. And then they will take that knowledge, flip it, and then figure out, okay, this is what I could do now to get over on the system. Some people's minds think like that. They use their powers for evil, okay? The Legion of Doom exists. Those are the scammers, the people that are looking to get over on us, the people that look at it like they owe us. So I'm gonna get mine that way.
But in all of this, let us not forget those wonderful store owners who allow you to buy things with your stamps that is against the law for you to buy with. Like, let's say i.e. cigarettes, let's say i.e. beer, let's say i.e. liquor. So not only the mothers and the fathers who are abusing the stamps, so are some of the damn store owners.
because they want your money. So, and instead
Right.
of bringing it up as food, they will ring it up as food miscellaneous or miscellaneous food, what have you. So you don't even know what it was. It's counted in their paperwork. It's counted in terms of, you know, them getting their money. They actually taxing you for it, which is stupid because you know that when you get your food and whatnot, there is no tax, but they find a ways around it by doing it miscellaneous. And in the end, they win. You win because you got that liquor and stuff you wanted with it. But in the end, the system don't win because now you getting all this extra money that could have went to a family that actually needed it. Remember, some of these people have 5, 6, 7 kids, and yeah, you would think they get a nice amount of food stamps, but it's not enough to feed all them jokers.
Especially, especially if you don't, especially if you don't know how to shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see you, Miss Pat. You say I wish I got some stamps like hot crabs. Yeah, and I understand that. But like I said, it would benefit you more, Miss Pat, because one, you're going to get what you need. And guess what? You being you, and with those extra stamps, I already know you're going to use that to feed the homeless because that's what you do. That is
Yeah,
part of your life mission.
because I know here in Baltimore you can actually buy some places you can buy steamed crabs with food stamps.
Well, you know, that being Baltimore, they're a little more readily available. So I understand that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying how even the businesses take advantage of the food stamps by keep on allowing people to come in there and they're not on, and you know what, and they're not even and I'm gonna get deep with y'all real quick. They're not even only doing it on food stamps because now the businesses are doing the same thing with people with vouchers. They're buying people, they're giving people cash for their wood vouchers.
Right. And let me mention something to y'all right now. For those of y'all who finally gonna get your stimulus check in the next week or two, yes, there are local banks that will cash your stimulus check for $0 Do not feel like you have to take it to the local store owner that's going to jack you out of about 140 to maybe even $200 so they can cash your thing and get over on you because you don't have what you need to get it done. If you have an identification card, if you have an identification number, if you have a social security card and a birth certificate, you can use those things to go to the bank and purchase you the necessary means to get your full amount of $1,400. That is a government cash out check. As long as you can identify yourself in some way, shape, or form, they will cash that check for you without taking out all those ridiculous fees that some of these local jokers are doing.
All right, y'all. I am back.
And I am here. I told you. But now I gotta be rude and eat on the air. So keep going.
My son called. Y'all know he's away, and this, that, and the other. Hold on for just a second, Miss Ma'am. Wake your ass up and watch this goddamn movie. Hello, Mahalia Jackson is on Lifetime, y'all.
Nice.
Oh wow,
Okay.
I have to watch
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, the Mahalia Jackson story. Yeah. And my daughter is here, honey. Wanted to make sure. Oh, I need to watch it. I need to watch it. And her ass over here knocked out, going to sleep. Okay.
Excuse my rudeness, y'all.
So here it is. Okay. Now I came in on that. I had to turn the volume down, so I didn't hear everything, but I came in on some good parts of this. Let me say this, children. One of the things that a lot of folks are afraid of is being on paper. Y'all would rather go and give 2% of your money to a goddamn check cashing place,
or worse
in some instances, than versus going to open up a goddamn checking account. Okay, I see this with folks with jobs. You don't get direct deposit from your damn job because you want the paper check.
Right.
And then you sit down here and go to a check cashing place where they take 2% or better of your motherfucking money.
So
you can sit down there and put your thumbprint on it and this, that, and the other.
A year to cash your check.
Okay, to get your shit. Okay, then you mad because you short.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, with the food stamp thing and carrying on, yes, I know working in retail before, I used to work for a corner store. And it's something that is some kind of credit that businesses get whenever they accept food stamps.
That is correct.
Okay. So what happens, especially back when we had the paper stamps, okay? Because a lot of the time, remember, back when we had the paper stamps, child, you couldn't spend the $5 or the $10 stamp without the book. I don't understand why, but you couldn't spend those without the book. And then there were certain stores that would let you come in if you didn't have it in the book or whatever, and they would take those stamps. Well, somehow the stores would get paid. There was a government kickback that they were getting for them accepting those food stamps.
Yeah.
So now they would go through and accept it and be illegal with it and let you buy shit you ain't supposed to buy on the stamp so that they could get the credit for taking the stamps. See? And so, and then here's something that I find to be rather interesting. Now, you would let folks sit up here and buy all this exotic shit, okay? Crab legs and sushi and that kind of shit. But you won't let them go to the delicatessen and buy a prepared meal.
Right.
Okay. Maybe they don't have time to cook and they're trying to get something for their kids so they can get the rotisserie chicken and a couple of sides. You know, you got everything here.
Here's where some of these stores then got smart though, at least here in Detroit. Some of these local stores, they have hot food now. And they allow you to use your EBT to purchase that hot food.
But you know what? And one thing Meech forgot to add, even back then when we had the paper food stamps, it was another requirement with using them too, but without them being in the book. You had to have your green card with your name on it and any proxy that could use your food stamps.
Oh, that was right at the beginning of that. Oh, girl. Right. Oh, yes. Did you take me all the way back there?
Yeah, he took you there.
Oh, that was right at the beginning of food stamps. That's right. Because you had to sign the books. Did y'all remember how to sign the books?
You had to come in every month, stand in that line, show them your ID. You had to count your food stamps and sign that got X amount of food stamps, and you also had to show that green card.
Yeah.
See, my mother, she was smart though. She went to the local store. This is my son. I can't be coming up here because I be off for work and what have you. I'm signing off for him right now. Take his ID picture, whatever you need to do, because I'm sending him up here. I ain't got time to be back and forth with y'all.
Right.
But then after a while, like we said, after a while, it really didn't matter because anybody could go. You, like he said, you could back then. The only thing you could have out the book was $1 food stamp.
Was the brown dollar, the brown and white.
Always had to be connected to the book, and they were every time you use a food stamp, they were supposed to compare the number on the food stamp to the food stamp book. Ain't nobody do that shit. Ain't nobody do none of that.
Nope.
Which was dumb. I never understood that, but at the same time, that was just government shit to make sure that you were compliant with their little rules, and that was just another little way for them to knock you off the system if you didn't comply.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But here now that we're here, and I always said this when food stamps went to EBT cards. Okay, I knew then that money as we knew it was changing because now you know remove the embarrassment of having food stamps. Okay, because remember I remember back in the day, folks were scared to show folks that they had stamps or whatever. Right. They have other people sit down there. Oh, girl, buy this for me. You know, and sit down there, slide you the food stamp on the slide, and this, that, and the other. Well, now the EBT card, honey, if you pull it out. You know, don't know if nobody's right up on you when you pull it out. Okay, it look like a regular credit card. Well, now everybody that got so sophisticated now to where everybody's EBT card has their state emblem on it and shit. I know the Georgia Peach card got this big ass. It's a green card that says Georgia with this big ass peach on it. Okay, so you know what it is. Michigan's card, honey, the Bridge card had the Michigan. It still got the Golden Gate. I mean, not the Golden Gate. What's the name of the ambassador? The ambassador bridge on at least it did. Okay. Did they change it?
Hold on, y'all need to see my number.
Okay. Protect the credentials. Protect the credentials.
But Meech, you know what? But I found out one thing that they did with these cards is, which a lot of people don't realize, is these cards are universal.
Yes.
I can take my card to Georgia and still use my stamp and he can
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Which is why the whole system, the SNAP system, Okay, what does that stand for?
Supplemental
The
nutrition.
supplemental nutritional something program. Okay, I think it's a supplemental nutritional assistance program or something like that.
Stand by.
Okay, so that program is a federal program now. So because it's federal,
Snap
okay, um,
what this snap stand.
you now could do that all over 50 states. Now the cards are different because each
Yes,
state.
supplemental nutritional assistance program.
You were right.
Okay.
Nutrition service.
Well, we both
Okay.
were right. I knew a part, and
Right.
you know a part. See how we work so good together.
Okay. So that because it's a federal program, now you can take it across state lines or whatever. But here's the thing
Right.
though. Here's the thing though, children, is that they track your spending.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay, they track your spending, and so if anything comes into question, honey, they would take care of all of that, and they could tell how you've been traveling when you say you broke,
Yeah.
and et cetera, and how often, and this, that, and that, how long, you know,
And
because
if you get, and listen to me, children, if you get in any kind of trouble with any kind of law, they have access to that.
yeah,
They can say, well, on such and such, you was in Miami, Florida, and you spent $37.22 as a Piggly Wiggly. So how was you in Baltimore too?
right,
They basically
exactly,
track it just like they track these credit cards, okay? Every
yeah, right,
Yeah.
what you bought anywhere. They know where you bought it at, they know what time you bought it at, and
right,
then what state you bought it in. It's the same
exactly,
with that SNAP card.
exactly,
But then, like I said earlier, Meech, they're doing the same. I don't know about where you at, but they're doing the same thing here with WIC vouchers. Stores
yeah,
are buying. Stores are giving these girls cash money. Now, keep in mind, if you look at these WIC vouchers, some of these WIC vouchers are over $100, especially the ones with formers on them. But these
right,
stores are giving these girls like $20 and $30 for these $100 and $200 vouchers that they getting the credit for.
that they getting the credit for, exactly, exactly. Now, if the girls were smart, and the
Hello.
store owners too, and the store owners too. Because if you're going to take the damn voucher, y'all know damn well that baby formula and shit is an arm and a leg at these little corner stores.
Yes, they are.
Okay, it's an arm and a leg. So as long as I'm compliant, see, the store can sit down there and still get the credit, even though they charge it what the grocery store would charge $5 and $6 for this damn can of Similac. They charge it $8 and $9 for the same can. See, but because you in my neighborhood, and I don't have transportation to get to the grocery store, this is how I'm able to care for my child.
Exactly.
Okay. And so because there is no dollar amount, they say that you get X amount of cans of this or X amount of cans of that. You could get this particular cereal and carry it on. See, they can sit down there and substitute the cereal because the cereal is the same goddamn price.
But
They
that,
can
but you know what?
substitute the cereal.
But you know the sad, not the sad thing, but the good thing about it is the nutrition is. Y'all know I'm old. I'm not ashamed to say it. But the nutrition is so much different now because
Yeah.
they, back then the only thing we could get was fucking Kicks
Kicks.
or Cheerios.
Okay.
Now look. Back then we could get the square
King
cheese.
Vitamin.
Right.
King Vitamin,
Hello. Back then we got the square cheese. Now they get Kraft single slice, individually wrapped cheese.
Right.
They get fresh fruits, fresh
Right.
vegetables.
Right.
I'm like, damn,
Right.
my work was but I mean, the only thing we got was for protein was that peanut butter and dried beans.
How about that? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
keep in mind, another thing about these local stores, particularly the ones owned by foreign people, not to be racist or anything, but they are a part of a whole setup, people, where they go and they get their product from their people that they get at a discounted price because they people are hooked up into the actual manufacturers. So there's $9 you're paying for the cereal that's $7 at the store. They done got it for $2.
Right.
So they doubling and tripling their profit off of you, knowing that your dumb butt ain't about to get on that bus or too tired or too lazy to go a few blocks down to the store, and so they getting over on you like that as well.
Let me tell y'all something. Here in the business of retail, the business of retail is all about getting a product line somewhere where you can get a 4-time markup.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want y'all to think about that. because I was trying to start a jewelry business. I had got this little costume jewelry I was trying to when for my shows and stuff, and I was trying to go into that particular thing. So I get these little sparkly diamonds and stuff. But the shit that I had it wasn't drag enough. Okay, I
Right.
was just starting, but nonetheless. When I got it, I had the dude on the line tell me trying to get gold necklaces and stuff. He was going to sell me at it for like $7 a necklace and told me that this it had a markup value of 4 times the amount. You know, I said a markup value. They said, yeah, you can sit down here, we'll give it to you at this price. And you can mark this up to 4 times the price in order to make your money. So anytime you go to a store, when you look at jewelry, when you look at this and the other, honey, remember you're always paying retail price, not the seller's price or whatever, or whatever. And even when you go in thinking that you're getting wholesale, that's still marked up too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why these stores, these little corner stores, and you go in there and you see the little thing that say 99 cents. A lot of us don't pay attention to suggested retail price,
Retail.
meaning that they don't have to charge you 99 cents. They suggest that they charge you 99 cents.
Say
Right.
that.
You
Say
think you
that.
get over
Okay.
because you go there and they give you discounts on the liquor and stuff, of course, because they definitely want to come back to that. But they make
Exactly.
the difference by selling those little rinky dink stuff that you wouldn't think people need like that you ain't gonna be able to find, but at 1 or 2 in the morning there, that's the ones they mark up big time.
Listen, let me tell you something. It's like how we do at cabarets, honey. Anytime we tell you a cabaret is BYOB, it's because we selling you the setups. You got ice, a bucket, and cups and carrying on. We selling you the setups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because that's just one thing that you don't have to worry about. And see now and now in this day and time, especially in this economy, that's the best way to do any kind of function. It's to do your
Right.
BYOB because they're gonna give you your cups, your ice, your chips, everything you just bring your bottle, your good appetite,
You
and have a
bring
good
your
time.
shit, we sell you the setups because see, then I don't need a liquor license.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else? And then as a promoter, you don't have to remember, well, John like this and Betty like this and Mark that's a lot of different damn liquors that you have to spend money for out of your pocket.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
Right.
also remember, folks, when y'all go to these stores and spend that 50 cents or $1 for a cup that they done bought the whole sleeve for $1, you damn
Right.
money.
Right. So let me get back to this because I'm gonna tell you, as I was walking through Miss Walmart, I see why everybody was running there to get their goddamn TVs. A 50-inch flat screen was going for $253.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I forgot what brand name that was, but the Philips was going for $298.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Philips was a brother brand because Philips,
Yeah. Listen, the
Right.
that
other one
thing.
must have been a Vizio.
Maybe. Or what's the one with an S? Not Samsung. It's something with an S. I remember an S. Maybe it's
Oh,
Smithsonian or whatever. I don't know.
it's called, it's SONYA or something like that.
Sony?
Okay. Okay.
Might have been a Sony, yeah.
So it could have been Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But nonetheless, I was like, really? No wonder everybody's running up in here with the stimulus and shit and buying these goddamn TVs. Because that 50-inch is
Right.
rather cute, honey.
And
It's a theater.
you gotta understand, folks, remember.
Sanyo. Thank you,
Right.
Marla.
That's
Thank
right.
you, Doc.
Sanyo. There we go.
Right, that's right. Now remember, y'all, Christmas wasn't hitting like it normally do this year, okay? So all they simply did was take all the TVs off the showroom floor in January, put them up because they know this time of year is coming. And so now they're wheeling them back out like, look, brand new, even cheap.
Right.
They're trying to
Right.
take these out the way so they can bring in the newer model.
Okay.
Hey,
Well, wait a minute.
Princess.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. I am sorry to say there's a lot of foreigners stand in line and get free food at the giveaway. I'll be wondering if they have a store and give it away for free, and we give boxes of food away. Well,
The
But you know what? Ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. If you own the store,
mm-hmm.
wouldn't you mark your stuff up too?
Well, see, here's the
Okay.
In
here's the
order, in
problem.
order, in order to survive, I'm not gonna say you're gonna get a 79-cent Pepsi at Sam's Club and mark it up to $2. Now that's just a bit much, but people do it.
But see, here's the
They
problem.
do it.
Okay, in the neighborhood, you got them 4 or 5 stores owned by. Okay, let me not use that term.
New Americans. New
Yeah,
Americans.
New Americans, right? Then you have the one store owned by the brother man. Now here's the thing: if the brother man is charging what you should be getting, but the other people are charging double and triple, that's one thing. So in the end, he may make out okay, but he's not gonna make out nearly as good as them. But more times
Right.
they come into it like, well, if they getting $5 or $6, I'm gonna charge $5 or $6. Now we all know it's a ripoff, but see, we won't question them so much. We'll go to the brother man and be like, why you doing your people like that? Why you gotta charge them all that? You know you getting over. You know there's only such and such at Walmart or
You
whatnot.
know what? Don't you start?
And-
Because that bullshit right there
Right.
gets up
That's
under
what
my.
it is.
Right now,
That-
understanding that it's only 1 or 2 places that brother can go to get his supplies. Meanwhile, the other man, they got places in Dearborn and Livonia and no.
Right.
They got
Right.
all
Right.
the people set up. They work there. They own the places. They have all these other resources that the brother man may not have.
And when you go there to try to utilize them as a wholesale business, you don't get the same deals that they do.
Nope.
No, no.
Okay, trust me. Ask me how I know. Okay,
I worked
but
at.
a lot of this,
That's how I know these
a
things.
lot of this, you know, we talk about the inside track of this, but when I talk about my people and how upset I got, and I know I'm on my period because I'm telling you the way how it, the way how it made me mad today. I know. I said, oh, okay, and then I had to think about it. I said, oh, bitch, you late because usually I'm the 3rd week of the month, but I'm late. Okay. But I'm telling y'all, this shit got under my skin so bad today. And you don't want to get in nobody's business because I can't tell nobody how to spend their money, what to spend their money on, because they not me. I know folks that might look at my basket and be like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? You know, and have the same and will have the same commentary that I'm having for them. Okay. At the same time, though, me not knowing their business and them not knowing mine as far as how responsible we are with money and this, that, and the other, what my household is and blah, blah, blah. The problem that I have is that there are moments where you can feel it in your spirit. You know when you know what you see. You know what the fuck it is that you see. Okay? You know that these children sitting up here going through all of this because now it's as if they act as if they never had, and now they got it, they got to flaunt it and floss it. You know what I'm saying? And I know my girlfriend Carlon, honey, she talked about doing this a long time ago. And I told her I need her to do it now. She wanted to start a program where she wanted to start a cooking show and base that on folks from start to finish, going to the store, how to spend your food stamps, and then come home to prepare a meal for your family, and how to budget your food stamps.
And make it cost effective. I got you.
You know, and make it cost effective.
Mhm.
Okay, and healthy as possible. Because here's the other thing, and I remember, I forgot which show this was, if it was Oprah or somebody, but I remember a talk show where the woman was on. It was Oprah. The woman was on, and she was talking about going to the store buying food. Okay, well, you say that my kids need to be healthy, but I only get X amount of dollars a month in food stamps, and I got to make this last throughout the entire month. Why am I going to sit down here and spend $6.99 for a little bitty ass bag of a vegetable stir fry? Okay, because it's organic. Okay, or better yet, no. Let me not use the pre-cut food. Let me go to the organic shit, because the organic stuff, where it is, you can get peppers and stuff. You know, if they on sale, you get them for like 89 cents a pound, or each.
Yeah.
Okay, when they on sale, sometimes you get them as low as 69 cents each. But when you go over to the organic side, they're 89, 99 cents a piece because they're organic. Okay. And then she said, you know, I'm trying to fit my home. So why would I go through trying to get all of this when I know it's not going to last, when they got these damn frozen pizzas 10 for $1? Okay. I get 10 of those, child. Okay, they 10 for 10. So I get those at $1 a piece. I got 10 different damn breakfast, food items. I got 4 kids. So here, if I get $40 worth of that, that's 40 goddamn pizzas in this damn refrigerator. My kids can eat. Okay, I get that, and carrot. I go to. I had to teach this and meet, honey. Oh, girl, you on my mind. I still can't believe you gone. I had to teach her because the fruit would be on sale. The canned fruit, it would be on sale for $1. You get the great big old huge can, but when you look at it, all of that fruit is in heavy syrup. It's no good for you, honey, because you got all that goddamn syrup in it. It's too sweet.
Right.
You got to get the fruit in the fruit juice. If you're gonna get it in the can, get it in the juice, the fruit juice. So it cuts down on all that damn sugar and carry it on. And I had to teach her that. She said, "Oh, girl," and when she said, "Oh, girl, I never paid that no mind." I said, "I know, baby," because she was a health nut. She was trying to help me because I had just had all of my, the beginning part of my surgery. I had just had the gastric, right? And so now she had gutted out my refrigerator for me, and she's trying to help me to stay on this particular path. And I said, "No, we can't get that." So that was a lesson for her at that particular time. But most folks ain't gonna do that because when they see, and I'm not talking about the little can, the 15-ounce can. I'm talking about the great big, the 32-ounce can. Okay, that we make bracelets out of. We talk about that later. That can that's usually like $1.69. Okay, it would be on sale 10 for 10 at Kroger's or whatever. But you sit up there, why would I not get that? Because I'm stretching my money. I can sit there and my cupboards will be full. Okay, versus you trying to tell me, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Why is it that anytime y'all say I need to eat healthily, the healthy stuff is the most expensive shit, and I'm on food stamps. I can't buy that shit. How about this? How about this? How about, did y'all know when y'all go to Kroger and y'all go get shit out of the health food aisle that's not covered by food stamps? A lot of it is not covered by food stamps. Ask me how I know. I go get my throat coat tea.
Do tell.
My traditional medicines is in the health food. That's tea. It's tea. But it don't come up on your food stamps, and I have to pay cash for that. When every time, and I do it on purpose just to make sure. I go through and I swipe my card, and it'll tell me, okay, well, you have a balance of $4.06 or whatever the tea was. Okay, I like a balance. They say, yeah, this ain't covered because it's considered it's in the health food store. It's an anomaly. Okay, so I'm like, really? Okay, you try to do all that. Now, some items are like the Nature's Best brand cereal, okay, which is a really good cereal. Now, the thing of it is, I remember when it was 99 cents a box. Okay.
We owe.
No, this is just recently. This is just recently because Nature's Best is a relatively new cereal company. Within the last 10 years. It was 99 cents a box at one point because nobody bought it. Where now people started getting into it, and so now it done became to where now that shit is like $3 or $4 a box now. Okay. So when we have that to consider, the food stamp thing, a lot of people, get into that particular thing. But the point that I was making today is that you this because everything about it just feels that way. It's one thing when you sit out there and you have your own opinion about it. But here we go. It's another thing when you feel that energy and it's like, bitch, you just got your damn food stamps today because now you ain't thought about no motherfucking crab meat. Now you got all this goddamn, and then it wasn't just crab, bitch. You got to get the what was it? It was the crab something. It was something special to where it got all the little bells and whistles and shit with it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, baby, when I tell you that shit just pissed me off today, it just pissed me off today because I wish that there was, I wish I had the magic wand to just sit down here and just say, listen, black folks, we got to do better, and we start to do better. Because they say once you learn better, you do better. I'm starting to question that. I'm gonna say once you learn better, those who apply it will do better.
Derek,
Okay, those
talk
who
to Derek.
apply it
Talk
will
to
do
Derek.
better.
Go,
That's
Derek.
that's your big sister big slogan for this year. Just because you know better don't mean you do better.
Exactly. Because oftentimes if we done got all into we set in our ways, quote unquote. I know how to clean up my goddamn house. I'm lazy at the moment, and I know my house is a representation of my depression. I don't see that I'm depressed, but my house shows it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the physical manifestation of what my depression is. Okay, and every time I try to attempt to do something, I get a brain freeze. I melt. You know, and so that
Hold
there
on,
is that.
hold on. I gotta
What's
shut
up?
out. Gotta shut out our big brother Joe. What's going on, Joe?
I was gonna shout him out, honey. Give him a minute. Let him catch the show. Okay. He don't get an automatic shout out, damn it. They don't automatically shout us out. Shit.
Hey, Joe. Hey,
Okay.
Joe. That
Not
ain't true.
automatically. I'm talking about not on the air talk. Now they
Yeah,
come to the comments, cute. I see
yeah,
you in the comments.
yeah.
But hold on a minute. Let him ride out a little minute. Hey Joe, what's up? Okay, I like fucking with Joe, honey. Because I like And for those of y'all who don't know, Joe was over there with Stan and them over there behind the blue curtain.
Yeah, they had a
Okay.
great
Oh,
conversation. Y'all check that on the
that's
replay,
I already
too.
said. I already said. I don't know who Joe is, but I know. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, Joe? What's up, Joe?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Over there with my boy Stan and them, they gets down.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So here we go. That day was just on my brain cells, and I really wish that we as a people, okay. Hey, what's up, Mr. Pink Pie? You know that's your. How you doing, Pink Pie? Okay. Oh, that still just wears me out. But I just wish that we get into that particular space where we're able to come out of this fucking ghetto mentality. I'm tired of us accepting the fact that because we in the hood, that this is hood behavior. This is what we as blacks do. I'm sick of that being our narrative. And today, that there was today it just got up under my skin today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But let's transition into this.
Okay.
Let's transition because this is another thing that got up under my motherfucking skin. Up under my motherfucking skin.
Oh wow! I
Okay.
bet you I know what it is.
You know what it is, girl. You know exactly what it is. You know what it is. I'm finna ready to play y'all something. Okay, I'm finna play y'all something. And here we go.
A story that's raising a lot of questions is how a Texas 8-year-old boy was able to get the COVID-19 vaccine. So the vaccine, it's not approved for children. Candace Sweat found out how this mishap happened.
People have been registering in Dallas County for the COVID vaccine for months, entering information through an online form.
If they've got a QR code, part of our assumption is they understand who should be registered and who should not.
But one dad says he didn't understand. He was able to register his 8-year-old son and got an appointment at a Dallas County site operated by first responders. Pediatrician Marshall Okendo says the child's father thought that because he was able to register and was given a QR code, it was okay to get him vaccinated.
When he got an appointment, he was like, okay, we all got an appointment, let's go.
It was only after his son started having side effects and talking to Dr. Okendo that the boy's father realized a mistake had been made.
We don't have the data, especially under the age of 12. We have no data that says if it works, if it's safe, how much, when should we use it, how much should we use it, what kids can get it, what kids can't.
Grand Prairie Fire Chief Robert Fite confirmed the boy was given a vaccine and plans to track down the paramedic who gave the shot and try to get more insight into how it happened.
You know, they're in the car, there's a code, the paramedic did what that paramedic did for thousands of others for that day and went ahead and gave the vaccination and did not realize it was a child under the age of 18.
While Fite plans to investigate on his end, he says they're operating under the authority of Dallas County, and he's looking for answers there as well.
We had some questions on how a child under 18 could even get registered. you know, if there was a fail system in place, then we wouldn't even have to worry because you couldn't register.
Dr. Oquendo says he's notified the American Pediatric Society and the Dallas County Medical Society about this case and hopes for changes in the registration process. In Dallas, Candace Sweat, NBC5.
The Dallas County judge says they are working with the IT department and web developers to make sure this does not happen again.
Really? How? In God's name, because I was going to say how in the fuck, but let me be cute.
Yeah.
How do you not know that the arm that you are poking is a child? Now, I know childs come big. I know childs grow.
No, we're not even.
But there's no way you going to tell me that you don't know an 8-year-old child.
Come on now.
There's no way that you got away with it. I don't give a fuck how they had a damn QRT code because it was registered. When you looked in that goddamn car, because it was a drive-up, when you looked in that motherfucking car, you had to get the boy's arm. And you didn't question the father or the parent or whoever was there to say, how old is this child?
Right.
You didn't question that?
Right. Because I'm sorry, I understand we have small people and whatnot, but that being said, don't none of them look like no damn 8-year-old.
Let me tell you this. Wait a minute. Had it been someone who, you know, our little people, okay, who always have to prove that they're not the child that they are, okay, that they look to be. Right. Had it been that, they would have asked.
Yeah.
Had it been, you know what I'm saying, to prove that they are who they are. So in this particular situation, honey, I don't buy that the daddy sat up there and because we were registered. Oh no, motherfucker, you knew what the hell you was doing.
Check this out. If you registered, you mean to tell me nowhere on that registration form it asked for age and birth date?
How about that?
Identification number. 8-year-olds do not possess.
And this is even before you got the confirmation of when you had your damn hearing. So where was the human error?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I know every time I go take a COVID test, when you register, you also have to sit down and show your ID.
Right.
To make sure you're the person who is registered. How in the fuck an 8-year-old had an ID card?
Right. And I'm pretty sure, especially in this day and age, where they don't even teach kids cursive writing no more, I'm pretty sure when you seen that fucked up ass signature, that didn't ring a bell in your head like, this look like a kid wrote. Okay, I understand there's people in here that might be from Texas, forgive me, y'all, but y'all stay ass backwards, period, right now.
Here's where it is.
But you're a father. Check this out. You're a father. I know there's no way possible you didn't hear on the news over and over and over again that vaccine was not approved for somebody your son's age.
I know you ain't such thing nowhere.
You ain't heard that no motherfucking where that vaccine was opened up to children. I'm gonna tell you what I think happened. I'm gonna tell you what I believe what it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You registered this child because you knew you could. I think you falsified the information.
Agreed.
To get the number. Okay. Mm-hmm. When you got there, I really believe, honey, that whoever did it because they wanted to fucking do it. Mm-hmm. You know, talk them into it or whatever that was. They did it because here it is. You wanted to have your entire household vaccinated because y'all ready to stop wearing masks. Y'all ready to go visit grandma and wanting a hug and this and another. I think that's the mindset.
Yeah, because
I really believe that's the mindset.
You want to be safe. You want to participate in all the other foolishness that's going on with all the other tech.
But what you done did was put your child in harm's way because now this baby's having severe reactions and side effects because this is a child.
And keep in mind, if you got the child the vaccine, he got an adult dosage, okay?
I was just going to go there, right. I was just going there, right.
Not going to get the same dosage an adult is going to get. So you're damn right he has some side effects. And seeing it was the Moderna one, in order for it to be fully effective, you got to get a second dosage. Now
how about that?
Now you're going to turn around. Yeah, that part.
But
Okay.
and y'all may not smell the same thing I smell, but I'm smelling a slight lawsuit trying to emerge through all of
Oh
this mess.
yeah. And
Girl, bad. And you already know that.
why they contacted the agency they should have contacted was CPS, Child Protective Services. Because you don't deserve your child to be in your custody if none of the type of choices you're making in terms of your child.
Okay. Barbara, that's a cute point, but I'm gonna give you that to a point. Maybe he was scared because kids have died too, and also can pass it. I'm just saying. I feel you on that, and that's the whole thing about kids because kids have been asymptomatic and they do pass it. Okay, and carrying on, not knowing that they got it. But hell, kids, listen, that there is kids. Period. That's kids. Period. Okay, kids are damn incubators of fucking disease and carrying on. They carry germs. That kids do
Right.
that.
Right.
Okay. They're in and children's immune system. Here's something I want y'all to understand well. Children's immune systems are probably the strongest because they just got here.
Right.
Okay. They have to fight off so much because everything becomes new. They're kids. They're new to the world. We're the ones as adults, we done got vaccinated and this, that, and the other. We done got into the elements of life. As we get older, then we start to break down. You know what I'm saying? Because now life doesn't happen. Your body doesn't happen. We done had all these different side effects. We done did this. Viruses come new and improved and all that old bullshit. And this is what happens. Okay. So with that being said, that there is that. Okay, which means that the baby could kill the whole family allegedly. Understand that, baby. But the vaccine still ain't for no damn. I don't care how scared the fuck you are. I don't care how scared you are.
You should not put your child. You should not put your
was
child
not
life.
ready for no child.
Right, and you should not put your
And here's where it is. And here's where this is. And you can't tell me because you know enough about it to go get the motherfucking vaccine. You know enough about it and read enough about it on this goddamn thing to know to go and register for the vaccine. You know enough about that. You can't tell me you don't know that you've been paying attention when they say this shit ain't ready for kids. They still talk about this is still they still in trial errors. Now they're talking about maybe 12 to 15. Where in that did they ever
just not testing on that as in a couple weeks ago. You ain't seen that
right.
information nowhere, sir. And you know I know
right.
shit all the goddamn time.
Right, but I'm not accepting it. I hear what you're saying, Barbara, but that's cute. And now you know what? I'm gonna give you this. Let me give you this. I would give you that if the people in question are new Americans that done came across the border and have not been exposed to our news, or they know what corona, if they knew like that and haven't been exposed because they up under the wire. But how can they be? Because in order to get that shit, you still got to show ID.
Because
even have legal documentation.
Right. Or stupid, you still got to look at the person that actually gave the damn vaccination.
Right. So
because then when you look at
it on everybody.
Right, and when you look at it, you also got to look at it like let's look at our brothers and sisters who are just getting out of prison and have no form of ID. Ever.
Right. Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm telling you everything in me says that this here was a stunt gone wrong because you one of them children that's trying to do X, Y, and Z. I agree, especially since Texas has been against any type of mandated lockdown due to corona. Exactly. I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Done for the lawsuit, done for all the above. Exactly.
She said either way, people are scared and paranoid about the virus, regardless of the paranoia, regardless of this being scared and paranoid. Everybody is, but damn it, I'm not accepting that you gonna sit up there and tell the folks you sat down there and registered your 8-year-old child to get this vaccine. The father did that, not the boy. The little boy did not go in the system. The daddy did.
Yeah.
Okay, the daddy did it. So now, okay, let's get past that. Okay, let's get past that because the checks and balances here. That's why everybody is at fault. Okay, so the daddy did it, and I would give you. Okay, he's scared and paranoid. All right, so he did it. When they got there to that goddamn testing site, and this is shot number 1, and they didn't sit down there and go through the checks and balance. There was no ID. Didn't nobody look at this child and be like, he's too young, or at least prove that he was old enough.
Not to mention, here's another key thing. Usually when they're giving out these shots, they doing either the temperature screening or they're doing some type of questionnaire as to, okay, because in the end, if you have corona at that moment, you're not supposed to be getting the vaccine.
You're not supposed to get it anyway.
They have to verify that some shape or form. So at some point, that 8-year-old was going to open his mouth, no, I ain't getting no vaccine. And then when you hear that non-bass in the voice, you should at that point be like, hold on, how old are you?
Right. And nobody questioned that. Nobody questioned that. See, that's what I'm having a problem with. Now it's up on the investigation, and it wouldn't. Now, let me give y'all this. Had this child not had any damn side effects or whatever, this would have went straight up under the radar.
Right.
This would have went right up under the radar, and then somebody else would have done it. He'd have told X, Y, and Z, go and this. You know what I'm saying? And this would have been. This is catastrophic.
Yes, because
this is catastrophic.
But what's to say he hasn't already told some of his friends?
Well, how about that? Because the child they had to get an appointment.
In the first place. Yeah.
Right.
But see, this.
But the question is, but this lies the question. Since he got the first one, is he going to have to get the second one?
How about it?
But
right.
Here's the thing. Let's look at the dosage. Maybe for a child, that first one might equal the 2 doses that the child was supposed to get, or might even be too much.
How about it might have been too much? Exactly.
But see, this actually brings up a more important question, because keep in mind, at some point they will test children, and then they will be able to get the vaccine. But here's the thing: at that point, you the parent, right?
Right.
So you say, okay, yeah, you taking the vaccine. Your child say, no, mommy, I don't want that.
How about that?
You gonna make your child take it?
Okay, then what?
Then that's when some parents will really become a parent and say, yes, you're gonna take the shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't gonna talk you eating up big McDonald's, but when it comes to this here, yeah, you're gonna do what I say this time.
Okay. Then what?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. What
so
is
that there becomes this whole big to do about nothing, you know, because whatever side of the fence you on, whether you're gonna take it or not, okay, I'm not gonna take it on this particular go round. Although, you know, everything, you know, I keep hearing all this, and they really want us to persuade it, and I in my spirit. In my spirit, something is telling me that somebody's going to try to force me to take this goddamn vaccine. Either you got to take it or you can't work or whatever, and put me in a position. I had a dream the other night that I went to go take my pneumonia shot, and they fucked up the shot and gave me the what's the name shot and stayed at the hospital. This was in the dream, and it was done on purpose, and they tried to say, oh, it was a mistake. You know, and I dreamt that just last night, and I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. And I know it's probably my paranoia kicking in, but nonetheless, yeah.
You're not scheduled for no pneumonia shot anytime soon, are you, honey?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay,
no, I don't have any health insurance right now. You know, my health insurance ended March 23rd of last year. Because when they let me go from my job, they let me. They all of that was stripped. Now that I'm back, I don't qualify for it because I'm part-time.
Hold on, let me address this comment. I'm not sure, but you don't have to sign a waiver stating that you can't sue, Eric. I know you know. Yes, I do know that, but do you also know, Ms. Barbara, that as a child you cannot enter into any type of contract legally? Did you know that? Nobody can enter that contract for you without express permission. Did you know that? So somebody on behalf of that child can actually sue the people that did that. Did you know that?
Oh my God, I was just talking about that. What if they make it mandatory? I'm not ready yet. Exactly.
Exactly.
And I know because I was listening Delta is saying they're not making it mandatory for folks to have a vaccine to travel domestically. But if you're going internationally, yeah. Okay.
Because some
You got to
countries
have more.
without
You
it.
have to have more than just a negative COVID test. And I'm sure that the borders now, in order to come in from other countries, I know damn well they got to be vaccinated. The same way they're gonna make that mandatory, like it is when we have to go out to other places. And you got to have your vaccines before you go to other countries. I'm
Right.
sure this is going to be up
But
there.
yeah, I think this is like this. They're trying to give everybody the opportunity to voluntarily take it with the understanding that this is what it is. In the ideal world, I do not see them getting to quote unquote herd immunity. I say the majority of people will choose to take it on their own, but it won't be enough to make it satisfactory for the health people and things of that nature. But in the end, hospitalizations are still 30 or 40% based on the people that's not taking it. Then guess what, y'all? Y'all gonna be taking the vaccine one way or the other.
Okay. And my whole thing is this. I want to wait until they get more data because see, right now everybody's experimental right now. The data that they are using came from the clinical trials because this was an emergency push. Now they keep on saying, I was listening to Dr. Fauci with LL Cool J, because LL Cool J, if y'all go check that out on YouTube, he did a live and I caught it in the beginning. I didn't see the whole thing. But Dr. Fauci was like, well, the reason why it happened so quickly is because they were already in preparation for doing something to create, they had some testing or whatever done, but it wasn't necessarily for this vaccine to create the vaccine, but they were already in testing. Okay. So some of the data that they have is them because they were setting up to prepare for whatever. Okay. Now I'm paraphrasing. Y'all go listen to the interview to hear what he said. And see now, because I know earlier on they were saying that, because of SARS and because of MRSA and all that other shit, they were looking at this vaccine because this was supposed to replicate an Ebola. What they did for those, they used that particular data, and this is how they were coming up with the foundation for this particular vaccine. Okay, so the data that they had on that is that. But everybody who's on it now are becoming case studies because now they don't have any long-term knowledge of what this shit can do. So now everybody that done took it is based on short-term information. So now you are the guinea pig because now as you go through, once you become fully vaccinated, now they got to go through whenever you go to your doctors and this and that, they got to now monitor you to see what the fuck done changed, if anything. You see, so everybody's guinea pigs right now. So now this is 2021, honey. I wouldn't be ready to take that into 2025. See, because then we would have studies and stuff to see what has happened. Because every day I watch GMA3, and every time Dr. Jen get up there, honey, with new information and what they done found out and what they done found out, I'm like, bitch, it's too soon. Y'all don't have no long-term data.
Okay, for those of y'all interested and still trying to figure it out for yourself, I just posted some of the things you could look into in terms of the recent studies and studies in the past in regards to vaccines. So y'all go to the CDC site and look those things up and make your own determinations. You also can look on any of the sites, any of the people that are presently administering vaccines. So that's Moderna, that is Pfizer, that is Johnson & Johnson, that is AstraZeneca. You can go on any of their websites and they have the updated information.
And so now, and then Dr. Fauci also said that he was one who was instrumental. He was in on the discussions and things, and was there when they were putting it together. I said, so were you there when they were putting all four of them together? Because we got how many? We got four, almost five different vaccines or whatever. Okay, so were you there for each and every one of them? And how is it that Moderna and Pfizer got 2 shots, but Johnson & Johnson got 1? Okay, what is it that they're doing that everybody else ain't did?
Well, see, keep in mind they're now testing on some people a second shot of the Johnson & Johnson to see if they can get the same efficacy that the Moderna and the Pfizer shot is getting. Because remember, Moderna and Pfizer is 90 to 94% effective. The Johnson & Johnson is 72% effective.
Right, but now what's the one that's supposed to be 100%? It's another one that's coming out that's supposed to be 100%.
No, it's 100% effective in regards to people not dying from the vaccine, from COVID, and 100% in regards to them not being hospitalized in regards to COVID. But no, there is no 100% vaccine at this
Exactly, and that's what right.
If they do come out with one, that means we're about to get rid of the flu too, because they can use that same elements to make that possible.
Right. Let me play this because we finna get it. I'm still on shit that pissed me off and carrying on, but this is going to tie into it because ultimately we get into toxic parenting. But I want to talk about these damn teenagers. Look at this.
An Uber driver attacked and carjacked. Tonight, 3 teens are facing charges.
Dashcam video of their arrest is only here on 7 tonight. The trouble started on Charles R. Avenue in East Point. Then police say 2 teens drove the stolen car to the home of the third teen in Warren.
7 investigator Jim Kurtzner is live in Warren right now. Now, Jim, you talked to the parents. What are they saying?
2 sets of parents are not talking with us. The parents who live here in Warren originally told us they didn't know what was going on. Then when they followed their son into court, they stopped talking with us.
Can we talk with you?
Aren't you one of the moms?
Yes, no thank you. That really is important.
What do you make of this? Only on 7, there are 3 teenage boys, whom we're not naming for now, charged with carjacking and unlawful imprisonment, up to life in prison if charged as adults. A judge granting the prosecutor 5 days to make that decision, whether to charge as adults. The judge also ordering them held without bond inside the Macomb County Juvenile Center until that decision is made. Only on 7, this is police dash cam video of their arrest in Warren at 10:30 last night. Police say this is where they drove the stolen car after they assaulted an Uber driver in East Point. Police say they were tracked here by OnStar inside the Uber Cadillac and followed in the air with a chopper from Detroit police. When police arrived, they say 2 of the teens were hiding in the back seat of this SUV.
We seen somebody slammed out of my Jeep. I didn't know that they were in the Jeep. My Jeep was unlocked.
Their 14-year-old son was arrested inside their basement.
I said, what's going on? I wanted to know what was going on.
What do you make of it now that we're telling you?
I don't know. It's bad. You know, it's just bad.
These parents say they don't know the other 2 teens, and they say they had taken their son to a high school basketball game earlier in the night.
He was at the game, and maybe he got mixed up with those 2 other boys. I'm not for sure, but I'm finna get to the bottom of it.
Now in court, the rap sheets of these 3 teens was read out loud, and the charges include disturbing the peace, destruction of property, assaulting and resisting the police. Get this, one of these teens had just gotten out of the juvenile center with this new charge of carjacking. They're going to remain locked up until their case is back in juvenile court, set for December the 12th. Live in Warren, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you so much, Jim.
That horrific story out of D.C., a carjacking that left a delivery driver there dead. But now 2 teenage girls, ages 15 and 13, have been charged with assaulting him with a stun gun, leading to the crash that killed him. A lot of questions being asked now, including if services like Uber Eats need to do more to protect drivers. Our Ariel Reshef joins us now with the very latest. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, TJ. That deadly attack on a 66-year-old Uber Eats driver happened in broad daylight, 4:30 p.m. as he was trying to deliver food. Those 2 teen suspects arrested in a shocking and senseless crime.
This morning, 2 teenage girls arrested, charged with felony murder and armed carjacking after police say they violently attacked and killed an Uber Eats driver in Washington, D.C. Police say the suspects, just 13 and 15 years old, were in the process of trying to steal 66-year-old Mohammed Anwar's car when one of them used a taser on him as they tried to speed off, which police say led to the deadly car crash, the car flipping over, Anwar ejected. He was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, but did not survive. The teens arrested at the scene. Anwar's loved ones calling the sudden loss immeasurable, telling ABC News the father of 3 and grandfather of 4 moved to the U.S. from Pakistan in 2014 to build a better life for himself and his family.
It's more than tragic. I don't even know if that word describes what happened. It's senseless.
Police say they've seen a spike in carjackings in Washington, D.C. and in several other major cities since the pandemic began. In 2020, 345 carjackings were reported in the nation's capital, more than double the year before. The city launching a task force just last month to help focus on these incidents.
Because it's very important that we find out the people who are responsible for these carjackings and that we have justice.
Uber drivers nationwide have been on alert after a string of attacks. Earlier this month, a San Francisco Uber driver was assaulted and taunted by belligerent passengers, authorities arresting one of the passengers and charging another with attempted robbery and assault. Uber now teaming up with law enforcement who are available to work with police 24 hours a day to respond to urgent calls. The company telling ABC News, "We are devastated by this tragic news and our hearts go out to Mohammed's family during this difficult time."
And Uber says that it is grateful these suspects were arrested. Police not releasing their identities because they are juveniles. Both teens have pleaded not involved, which is the adult equivalent of not guilty. TJ.
All right, Ariel Resha for us. Thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here, so go on.
All right, I meant to try to cut that off before that part come on about them in the YouTube channel. But no, Marla, you was asking, well, these two different situations. Yes, there are two separate stories. The first one in Detroit happened 2 years ago. Okay, that was 2 years ago, and I brought that up because it's still fresh, and they were teenagers. Okay, now the story I just played, that just happened a few days ago. Okay, and then they alluded to another story inside of it. I was going to get that story, but I didn't need to because they talked about it. And that there was when those teenage girls was in the back of that Uber, and they snatched his phone and all that shit. And carried on. Those are three separate instances where we have teenagers, okay, doing crazy. Yes, those two girls with the Uber Eats driver that killed him. Yes, that he did die. That Uber driver died.
Yeah, that one did.
Okay, he died. Those girls were 13 and 15 years old, trying to rob him and chase him and this, that, and the other, and steal his car. So, is this gang related? We quick to say that this was gang related activity, because a lot of time when it comes down to teenagers stealing cars or whatever, these are usually gang initiations. But I'm not quick to jump to that conclusion all the time. I think that these are just precocious teenagers who had too much time on their damn hands and wanted to do something. And now the girls these days are much more violent or aggressive than a lot of the boys are nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But 13 and 15 years old, and y'all responsible for killing somebody? The other one, three black teenagers, okay, are responsible for that Uber driver.
Okay, now look, I don't know if you knew this or not, Meech, but you know I used to be an Uber driver.
Right.
And I was actually working when that incident in Detroit happened. I was working that day. In fact, I was actually in that area a couple hours prior to when that occurred. So
really?
Yes, really. And keep in mind, about a week after that, there was a situation to where I had a young passenger who basically had a stop that he wanted to go to. But then in the middle of the stop, it's like, well, okay, well, I need to stop somewhere first. You know, usually Uber requires you to, if you want to change your stop, to where that stop is in the app, so that way the driver can reposition the GPS that way. But no, he was refusing to do that. And then on top of that, he wanted to, okay, I'm just going to show you where it is. Go down this street, go down that street. Oh, no, sir. The only street you're about to go down is the one here. You're the police department. Now, you got two choices. You can get the fuck up out my car and head on over there, or at this point I'm gonna call Uber and let them know that no, this ride is over, and we're gonna sit here and wait for the police because I'm gonna use my other phone to call them. What's it gonna be? So yeah, his butt got up out my car because I just have sneaking suspicion. Now keep in mind, I worked through a platform called Maven. Maven was a platform that was renting cars to Uber drivers like myself that are wanted to drive but did not have for insurance, car note, what have you. So you would pay them a set amount every week and
Right.
drive what happened. Now what happened was after that incident, that particular incident, a couple weeks later, they had us turn all our cars in and they fitted all the cars with instant GPS in the car as well as cameras inside the car so that they could
Right.
see what's going on. And in the event something happened, you had a button you could push and they would automatically go back to Maven and they would, basically contact the authorities from there.
Right.
Since then, they changed some of Uber's safety, but in the end, here's the thing. You have to be an adult to have an Uber account, according to Uber. But that being said, many people will let their child use their account, let their significant other use their account, what have you. So it's very easy to set somebody up if that's what you're looking to do.
Go ahead, Jared.
Check this out. A carjacker victim assaulted by 3 juveniles who stole his car and struck him has died, police said. Baltimore City Police said an officer on patrol shortly after 5 a.m. Friday in the 100 block of North Coughlin Street. And that's where the 3 teenagers beat up a 41-year-old man trying to take his car and struck him with his own car.
And see, that's a whole nother incident. That was just yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. So what's going on with our teenagers? Okay. I don't want to say that this is all gang related. I refuse to believe that.
No.
What's going on with our teenagers? That is this residuals from the reality TV show shit that we keep talking about? Is this a residual effect from that? Okay, is this residue
from the video game world come to life?
Is it Grand Theft Auto residue? Okay, what the hell is this? And where? The Detroit story. And the one parent, when they got to the court, the parents didn't want to talk. Okay. But then the one parent, the daddy, he like, wait a minute, the boy hiding in the basement. Okay. He like, wait a minute, I need to know what's going on, what is happening here. And so when the reporter was like, okay, well, now that you know what's up, did you see that look in his face? And he was like, damn, like this is bad. This is really, really bad. Okay. And now then the mama is like, no, he was at the game. We took him to the fucking game. And now you done got up with these little friends and see, here's where it is. Okay. Those of us who are old school, y'all know what it was. We know kids are going to be kids. When they get out of our sight, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what peer pressure is that they are facing. We don't know what they are capable of doing when they're not in your sight. You just have to hand them over to the powers that be. You pray to God about God, I'm putting them in your hands. Just make sure that my baby come back to me. Okay? And this, that, and other. That's that parent's prayer. But when you got stuff like this, to where your child, but they done got caught up in some bullshit. Okay? How did you? Because see, I know Essie Lorraine, she did that to my brother. Okay, when she had to go get him for breaking curfew, she hemmed him up at the police station. What the fuck did I tell you to do? I told you to have your ass here at the house. What the fuck is this that you think that you're doing? What is this? So now you want to defy me. So you grown to defy me? Is that what you're trying to tell me, little boy? That was the conversation. Okay. And then the police tried to tell my mama, she said, you don't, this one is mine. You don't tell me how to raise this one. Because if I don't check him now, then it's going to be y'all trying to go upside his head. Y'all see how big he is. Okay. So no, what is the disconnect that we are having with our teenagers? Because we're having too many instances now where teenagers are the motherfucking criminals. They're the ones that carjacking and murder. Okay, let's not go back to the kid that killed the girl in the Walmart and bragged about it on Facebook. Those are teenagers.
Recorded it even.
Recorded it and bragged it. I don't give a fuck that she dead. Fuck that bitch. You know, what is this? What is this? Do we have an answer? Do we want an answer?
And here's
Do
the
we
thing,
want
I
an
even
answer?
chalk it up to idle hands at the devil workshop because these kids not in school now and they got extra time. It's not even as simple as that.
It's not that simple.
I mean,
It's not that simple.
They do things that we could not even conceive as children.
Right. It's not. I'm going now. Parents, let me go to y'all because see, we were talking about this the other day and yesterday, and we were talking about Lil Nas, and like I was telling, and Nikki was like, "Okay, you know what? Wait a minute." You know, she had to come back and retract that. She was like, "Hold up, looking at all of his shit. All his shit is crazy except for Old Town Road." Okay, that's the most sane one he got. Everything else has been whatever. Okay, so it's like, no, honey, we know what the tea is. Okay, but knowing the tea as a parent, what are you not doing to communicate with your child? Do we leave them to these fucking devices at all times? Because you give them the latest phones, you give them, make sure they got all the goddamn apps. They on TikTok, they on Snapchat, they on Kick, they own Instagram. Do y'all leave them to their devices? Okay, okay, yeah. You want to come in? Hold on, baby. She said, "Can I come in? Because I can't type that quick. I need to talk. I need to talk."
Yeah,
okay,
because it's like that. Bring her on in.
Okay.
And Eric, you can slow down with all this damn yawning. I need to get my cousin in before your cousin come in. You can slow down with all this damn yawning.
Okay.
I didn't drink my coffee today, y'all.
Well, you got time to go make a cup.
Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna grab some water though. Hold on.
Okay.
Him and that daggone Bernie. But yeah, that, it's like that. And and one thing I wanted to expound upon what Eric say. Yes, this pandemic, but my thing is, what, America, let's get real. These teenagers was doing this before the pandemic.
Right.
I think now it's being more magnified because we have more time where we can sit home and watch TV and see what's going on the news. So we're paying more attention to it. But this isn't nothing new.
Exactly. Which is my point.
True.
Okay.
Good point, D.
Which is why I wanted to play the one that was 2 years old. Because that was 2 years ago in Detroit.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember, I purposely did not let people know at that time that I was doing Uber because I had concern like that. Only a few of my family members actually knew. But that being said, when that particular incident happened, my aunt was like, "Don't do it no more."
And then it's a large percentage of girls that are doing this.
Yes.
Exactly.
Is that mindset is, well, I'm a girl, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna get less time. I'm just trying to put my mind where their mind is. I know I can't do it because first of all, I'm not a girl.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, overall, there's a increase in crime involving women in general over the last few years.
Okay, y'all. Let me. Oh, hey, Jamita, I didn't see you. Hey, baby.
Hey, Jamaica girl, what you going? You over there?
Okay, what's going on? Okay, okay. Now listen, let me bring in the Dr. Evangelist, honey.
Okay.
Okay, the Dr. Evangelist, darling. Hello there, my love.
Hello, sweethearts. How are y'all doing?
I'm on my best behavior. I'm all covered up. Praise the Lord.
You know, I'm not judging like that. So
I know you don't. I'm just messing with you, Doc.
Listen. When it comes to them daggum teenagers, I'm with Boy Derek. They've been doing this. They've been doing this a very long time.
Right.
Right. I was just telling them last night how my grandson wanted to sneak out the house, and he was sneaking out the house. Well, the rest of that story, which I didn't get to tell, was that he was that this boy was driving by and picking him up. He was in somebody's backyard and they were driving to pick him up. He got into some trouble not by the law, but by his parents, my
Uh-huh.
daughter and my daughter and son-in-law. Because the thing about it is, even though, and they have 5 kids, so he's the oldest of the 5, so they got some babies too, some little ones. So a lot
Uh-huh.
of their attention goes on the little ones, and I'm always fussing at them like, look, these teenagers you got 2 teenage boys. You're going to have to monitor. You have all these kids. I love my daughter. You got these kids, but
Right.
you're gonna have to manage what you do with the little ones and what you allow them with the older ones, because somebody's not getting everything that they need. You know what I'm saying? Attention's not being put where it needs to be. And sometimes we allow the older ones, because they're older, we just kind of allow them to do, you know. And
How
my
about that?
thing,
Oh, that's good. That's real
and
good
my
right
thing
there.
is that you gotta equip yourself and your children with other behavior with other things. You got to give them other things. It can't be this all the time. It can't be that all the time. But you're gonna start making them work. You know, just like, and I told her, I said, when you turn 15, I made you work outside the house. You know, maybe not at Burger King and stuff because you had to be 16, but when you turned 15, I had you working if it wasn't no more than babysitting someone else's kids. Things like that, because the devil, an idle mind is still the devil's workshop. And when we allow, because we're so busy ourselves in this, and we're doing everything that we're not doing everything that we need to do for our children because we trying to get our likes on social media. How about that? You know, and so
Oh,
while our kids are doing
good. That's real good too.
TikTok and all these different things, and they're trying to get a like from this person and a like from that one, and a smiley face from this one. While the parents are still trying to do that, the kids are running amok doing whatever the heck they want. They literally are. And when it comes to our Black children, my thing is, no, those young boys that I think they stole the car and they beat the person up, which is horrible. It's horrible. I can't sit here and say that I agree with any of that, but the person didn't die. I don't think they deserve life in prison. I really don't, because there are people that do a whole lot more.
Excuse me, Doc. Excuse me, Doc.
Life.
I think it's some comments that you need to look at real quick.
I'm already looking at them and carrying on. And I think we got trolls over here. They're trying to be cute.
What's going on?
That's not cool.
We got trolls. That's all. You know what? That just means that we got folks who are paying attention, and they're looking to get their little 15 minutes of fame. Okay.
Well,
now the whole thing of it is,
what's going on? Who's talking? Let's
we got folks over here on the YouTube channel, and for whatever reason, we got all these strange ass names coming up. And what is happening is they're trying to talk in Black vernacular and carrying on and this, that, and the other, and all of that, and it's not making any fucking sense. And the whole thing of it is that you know, I'm trying to. At first, I thought they were kind of jokey, but it doesn't feel that way. So what could easily happen is if they keep it up, if they don't leave on their own, they will be blocked because it's now becoming a farce. You understand? And all of that doesn't even need to be this Japanese samurai person, this raid siren. Yeah, I'm gonna call y'all little names, honey, because y'all want a little recognition. But I'm not going to post your comments up here because
but is it something we should be?
No, wait a minute. Ray, hold on. Now you said this, which was kind of cute. You guys be speaking good truth. Don't worry about no trolls. Well, thank you, Ray, because at
Amen.
first, okay, so okay. So come on, bro, one struggle. Okay, I understand all that, but let's not be silly. And let's not get into that particular thing. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to talk like y'all got some sense. You should have started that the first time. Let's do this like we got some sense. Okay?
Amen.
Let's do this like we got some sense now. Because I'm not saying that you don't have a right to feel the way that you feel, but I need y'all to come over here and do it with some sense and some integrity. Because what we're not going to do, don't piss me off because y'all don't want to get my mouth going. I'm already in a space. Don't do it. I'm asking nicely. That's the only time I'm gonna ask, because the next time I'm gonna tell you. All right, continue on.
I don't know. I don't know if I was talking to somebody, but I was just going to say, well, I invite the comments if there's something we need to talk on, because there's a lot of, I have a 15-year-old getting ready to be 15, and of course she's Down syndrome, so I don't have a lot of the same worries as someone with a quote unquote normal child. But I have raised three other adult children, plus fostered 26 different kids. So I do
Wow.
know a little
Okay.
bit of something, and I've been a guardian ad litem for children that are dysfunctional in different situations. So I do have a little bit of a background in that. But I tell you, a lot of it starts from home. A lot of the behaviors, and the
Right.
parents don't like to hear that, but a lot of stuff starts from home. Even my own child, and I was telling them the other night, my own son got in trouble. I was away in the military and had to go to Iraq, and because I was a foster kid growing up, I didn't have parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and stuff to leave my own kids with, so I had to depend on, and I couldn't tell the Army I wasn't going. You see what I'm saying? So I had to
Right.
go. So I had to leave my
Okay.
kids, and I left my son with one set of people, a woman with her son that they were friends with, and then I left my girls with a husband and wife and their two daughters that they were in school with.
Right.
But my son turned around, stole our car that was parked in the garage, and turned around and was riding up. Back in those days, this was the early 2000s, right when the war started, so they didn't have a lot of rules on the base. My son was driving on Fort Hood like it wasn't no tomorrow, just popping his ID up to him and just rolling on and off base. 14 years old driving.
Okay.
And when I came back, I cut into that joker. Because look, you not only are you doing this, but you can ruin our whole career behind you acting stupid.
Acting stupid and then feeling as though he was privileged.
There you go. Privileged.
Because he thought he was privileged. Mm-hmm. Because of your status. He was pimping your privilege. Mm-hmm. Pimping your credentials. Okay. and all of that. But here's the question. What was it for you that after having the discussion that carried on, being a real parent to get to him? Because like I said before, we know kids are going to be kids, especially when they become teenagers. They start to see what they can and can't get away with, trying to come into their own identity and carrying on. But we also know that there are some who end up becoming lost in the sauce, because of whatever peer pressures, because of whatever the external factor is. Either they wanted to be loved, wanted to be accepted, wanting to have all the cutesy little fabulous little things and this, that, and the other. What is that? How was it that in your household you were able to snap them up?
I wasn't. Let me tell you.
No, just be real. There we go. Come on.
I wasn't at first. Okay, so I went through a divorce. So there were some issues going on, obviously. Divorce. Right. He had a new stepdad.
Okay.
Different stuff,
Right.
And he was the only boy, so of course he didn't want no other man up in, all of that.
All of that. How old was he at this time?
14.
Okay. So yeah, he realized that he has a penis. He understands what this is. So and I say this because male children get to that between 14 and 17. That's that stage where a man has to deal with them.
Right. So I sent him to my okay, so I've been married 3 times, so that's already, but they were babies when I married their stepdad, their stepdad. And so I sent him and the baby girl to my ex-husband because they wanted to go because the new, what I'm saying, it was a little bit of rockiness at first. So I knew it wasn't a good thing, but I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell him he don't need his father and his father don't need him. So this is the man he want to go live with. So I'm going to let him go. But I knew that being the type of husband he was, that he wasn't gonna get that fatherly figure like he thought he was. You know what I'm saying? He was a good person, but not a good dad. And I knew that. And I kept telling him, you think it's gonna be this way when you go there, but it's really not. Because your dad's making it seem like he's gonna do all this care for you, but he's only doing it because he got a girlfriend living there. In other words, so he went from my home, we were more stable, and I was strict. So, and then he went to go live with dad that wasn't as strict.
Okay, right.
So then he started allowing him to just run and go and do it. And when I called one time at I think 10:30 just to check on him, like, so how was school and stuff like that. I ain't see. He's like, I ain't seen Josh. I'm like, what you mean you ain't seen Josh?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you mean you ain't seen him? Well, I ain't seen him all day. I didn't even know if he went to school or not. Well, now we got a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was difficult because by then he's already doing this. He's washing his hands because he's like, I've told him he need to be at home, but he was so busy with his girlfriend that he wasn't really.
He wasn't being a parent. He was being his son's friend.
Oh, Jesus.
He was being his son's friend, and they're trying to treat him like another man in the house. Oh, right. Well, you go handle you because I'm doing me.
Right.
You know.
And so, but my daughter, on the other hand, was like, you know, I like the woman, but you know what? I think I want to come back home. I was like, okay. But by this time, my son was already running the streets, got jumped into a gang, all of that. Out there out in Washington State. And so it just got to the point, it was like, you know what? I went and my commander let me fly from Texas all the way out to Washington State to get him on a plane and bring him back. I did that. This Negro, I hope y'all that are white out there don't take an offense to what I'm saying. But this Negro, my son, saves up his money. I was giving him money. He was working. I was giving him money to do little things, you know, cut grass or whatever. This Negro don't spend a dime. My son know how to save money. He did not spend a dime. He waited till he had enough money for a plane ticket. A plane ticket. This joker had his friend, and by this time he's in high school. He's 16. He have his friend take him to the airport, and he flew off back to Washington. I'm like, who does that? Most kids run away and they stay in the town. This Negro flew all the way from Texas to Washington State. So when it came down to it, I was like, you know what? You just gonna have. I'm calling juvie myself. And unfortunately, this is just what you got to deal with, because I couldn't keep running back and forth like that. I couldn't. So whatever happened. He got into a couple of scrapes. That last time he got in trouble, brother man's like, nope, I'm not doing this no more. He done turned himself around, got his own business. You know, he's doing fabulous, and I'm thankful. But it's nothing but the prayers, and I'm gonna tell you.
So basically, this was part of his journey of finding himself.
Because
whatever that was of the connection between his dad that he was looking for, and the discipline that he wanted from another man. And I'm not saying you to do your part, but you being gone and you being a servicewoman and carrying on, that discipline that he was looking for, he didn't get. So he ended up having to fend for himself.
Right.
Okay. And
he got it at a younger age, but when he got older, where I couldn't beat no more.
You couldn't be there, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what I'm saying, because you had obligations. See, what he was looking for was from the other part of that. I think we as male children go through that when you don't necessarily want to be a mama's boy or be labeled as a mama's boy, but you also need that balance. And when he went to his dad thinking that he was going to get that substance, what he got was fluff. Okay. And maybe could not express. How does a child express that at that age?
Right.
You know, my dad ain't being a parent, you know, and this, that, and the other. He was led, he had to fend for his own. Okay. Then when he got back to structure, because you're there, it was too much.
Right.
It was too much. Okay. So the shell shock of all of that became no, I'm a bust loose. Okay.
Right. I'm out. I
I'm
don't need
out.
nobody.
Okay.
Right.
So
Mhm.
then what happened was him having to see the grass wasn't green on the other side,
That's
honey.
right. That's
The
right.
grass, what he thought was green,
Mhm.
honey, it was all hay covered up, okay, with a few strands, okay.
Mhm.
And so then, you know, understanding that the lessons, see, if you give the children the tools,
Mhm.
okay, scripture said you train a child in the way they should go, they will never depart. That's what scripture says, okay, traditional teachings. At the same time, I'd like to tweak that a little bit and say that if you give them the tools, they always know how to go to the toolbox.
Right. Right.
They may not understand why they got this leveler. Okay,
Mhm.
they just see it as a ruler. Why I got this in the toolbox? But the day
Mm.
is gonna come when they find out the leveler that's here to make sure everything is balanced.
Hallelujah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I don't mean to be
well you
rude.
got to go ahead, do what you feel, baby. Don't you stifle that. And
Okay.
don't you stifle that. If we on Easter this Easter weekend, you don't you stifle that.
Amen. Amen.
When you find out, see, there oftentimes we're giving tools and may not know what their purpose are.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
how many of y'all are cooks that did not know what the hell the ladle was? Okay, or the bread knife. Okay, the
Mhm.
butter knife.
Mhm.
Okay, we just said, what is this funny looking thing, honey? I got a knife to spread. No, that was a bread knife.
Right.
Okay, and
Each
things.
one of them has their own use.
Each one has their own use.
Mhm.
Okay, we don't know about. Okay, yeah, we call them the flipper. They're called tongs, honey. This is what you grab. Okay,
Right.
you don't know what the tools are. You understand?
Mhm.
Until
Mhm.
you have to use them. So,
Mhm.
given the tools, you got him in the box, honey. Now he doesn't have to know that his toolbox was full.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
had to go and build because Jesus was the ultimate carpenter. So he had to go and build. Okay, his foundation. See, and that
Mm.
there is what that. Oh, that's a word right there.
That
When
I
you
was about to say. I was about to say that's the
woo,
lesson right there. That's the lesson. Yes. Mhm.
oh, that just hit
Mhm.
me. Oh, that just hit me. Oh, that hit me. Come on now. But that
Amen.
there is what that is. So now, seeing what he comes from, so now what he have his testimony and tell others what he's gone through. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then appreciate his mama for
He does
you
too.
know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And
Mhm.
appreciate all of that. And I'm sure he's been apologetic for causing hell. You
Yeah,
know,
it's funny. One day it's funny because he asked me, he was in the midst of being angry younger, and he
uh,
said, I don't know why you didn't just put me up for adoption. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't know why either, bro. You know,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, I don't know why I
right,
didn't either.
right.
Because maybe I would have got a better son. How about that?
Oh,
But
how about
you know, but to God be the glory, because now he looks back and he say, Mom, I look at some of these other kids that didn't have a mom, and see, I
right,
didn't. I didn't.
right,
And I
right.
will tell, and he'll be like, I'll be looking and going, man, I'm glad my mom was never like your mom. And I'm like, and that's not to look and say that but I know I did a good job. I really do know that.
Uh-huh.
I just know that there were things that ended up being lacking. And even because my son was angry about a divorce, and he's like, well, I never knew you and dad didn't even get along because we didn't fight in front of him. And I
Exactly.
figured not
It wasn't
fighting
their
in front of
business.
him was the good thing. You know what I'm saying? Was a good thing. But in reality, it kept them blinded because when things
Right.
happen, they didn't know. And so they're looking, going, why are we packing up and leaving? What's going on? I don't know, you know. And I'm like, man, this man done did this and this, and you know, whatever. Not trying to be, but it's like, or he would say, well, your mama this and your mama that. And they're like, well, we didn't know none of this was going on. And now I realize that was a mistake we made. You need to tell
Uh-huh.
your kids are resilient, first of all.
Say
And
that. Would you
you
say that?
know, they
Stop trying to
are.
use the kids as the excuse all the time. Oh, well,
Right.
we were doing this for the children. Kids are more resilient than what you give them
They would
credit for,
rather you
honey.
tell the truth, and they'd rather know mom and dad are divorcing because they just ain't getting along. And if we hear them fighting, then I'm cool. They can leave. You know what I'm saying? But if
But
we sit up there and we act like everything's good, you know, and I tell my kids all the time, I'm so sorry that some of those mistakes that I made like that, you know, because I was thinking we're doing it because, you know, you in the church and, you know, you're trying to do, but we got to be real in the church too.
Hello.
You
Okay,
know?
now that goes to, because I'm talking about toxic parenting.
Mhm.
And I wish Leo was here. I wish Leo was here, Leo Brown, honey, because this is his. We were trying to do this yesterday, but we didn't come to it. But I'm gonna get into this here because when we talk about these teenagers, why are the teenagers running amok? When we talk about this 8-year-old and all of that with this father doing, and I'm not gonna say he was toxic. What I'm saying is he was just irresponsible. Okay, it wanted so badly to do the right thing and have the, you know, to be immunized or whatever. You were irresponsible because you knew, you ain't gonna tell me you didn't know that information. You just so overly zealous to be right and to do this. You don't put your baby in danger. Okay, so so I won't say that his actions were toxic, but we have those parents. I was referring to the Tina Turner documentary. If y'all have not seen that, oh God, y'all got to go watch that. And also Genius Aretha. Okay. In watching Tina Turner come from a mother, her mother and father abandoned her. Okay, abandoned her. Mom left first. Then she said, then the daddy left. Okay, he was gone. Okay, so now she's longing for somebody to come back and say, hey, okay. Then the mama finally comes back into her life. Okay, well now, you know, you want to sit down there and you belittle me and things because you don't like me. And if you really want to know the truth about the matter, honey, I really believe that she was a reminder of the man that ran away or didn't want her mama. Okay, or treated her mama bad, whatever that was. You were a demonstration of the man that hurt her. So she took it out on you until Tina started having the success. So now you want her success. Oh, that's my daughter because now she's making all this money. She's touring. She's on television.
Right.
She's on magazines. She's on billboards. You know, so you want her success, but you don't want her. Okay. You want what she could do for you, but you don't want her.
Right.
Okay, and carrying on. T.S. Madison just said the same thing on her show, the T.S. Madison Experience, where her father, they were saying, oh, your father disrespects you by calling you your former name, Timothy. Okay, and still call you son and don't want to accept that you're transgender. He can't accept that, but he know how to call you and say he need a truck. Because now he wants your success. You done made all this coin and carrying on. Now he wants your success. He disrespected to your face, to your face, and then still call you and say that he need money for a truck. Okay, a truck, not
right. Wasn't
right.
One of them other ball players? Their dad was like that too.
Yes.
The guy from Ole Miss, that he ended up being raised by the white people, and then and then his dad, as soon as he
we have many instances. Wait a minute, was Shaq's daddy like that?
Shaq's dad was like that.
Okay, because he said he didn't know his dad.
Right.
He didn't know his daddy, but now when he signed that first contract or whatever, now his daddy wanted to be in all the pictures and my son, this my son. Nigga what? Okay.
Well, we say nigga, please.
Hello?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we're there, that toxicity, okay, I'm reminded of the book Sybil. Okay. Sybil, that woman went through 16 different personalities because she had her mama tormented her like that and made her mind split into 16 different people in order to handle the trauma and the hurt that she went through. You understand? And all of that. When we think of the toxicity, okay, as a gay man, yes, we're much better now, thank God. Okay, but in the beginning of me coming to my terms and before I even knew what this was, the first 8 years of my life, when he was there in the house and this, that, and the other, Honey, I did not know what that was. He was abusive with my mom and yet wanted to lay down the law, but yet didn't see me. He saw his eldest boy, who he thought was supposed to be his reflection. I was supposed to be his mini me. I was the one that was supposed to be just like him. Okay. And it was probably because your father didn't want to accept me to begin with. Okay. Because my grandfather was color struck. My mother's a dark skinned woman. When I came out, I was high yellow, real high yellow when I was born. And so because my grandfather's from that old South, you know, he was one that wanted all of his sons. He had 10 boys. He didn't want them to have nothing dark. It was, it was that whole that colorism thing. So because I was born, my grandfather never accepted me. Never. Ever.
Wow.
Okay. And so looking at it from and I didn't learn how to do this until 2007, y'all. So it took me a minute. Okay. I was 37 when I was able to dissect this. Looking at it from my father's point of view, here you are, a father at 16, okay, going on 17. Okay. Now your dad refuses your child. I'm the firstborn. Okay. Your father says, ain't nothing that light come out of nothing that dark.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
Okay. Until my cousin was born, exactly 3 weeks and 2 days after me. Okay. No, 3 weeks and a day, because he's March 26th. And my cousin was born. My mother and my aunt are the exact shade of Mocha Madness, honey. Okay. Okay. Lovely, regal, dark-skinned women. And my aunt had a white baby. Okay. So much so to where my cousin today looks like a white boy with a tan. Okay. But that was our nickname for him, white boy. So until that time, when he was born, he became the cat's meow. But they still rejected me. My grandfather still rejected me. Up until that man died, honey. Every time I went over to my grandparents' house, I had a 15-minute time limit with him. And when he knew I was there, he was, don't you want to go down the street and say hi to your friends? Miss Broil and them are over there. Don't you want to go say hi to them? I got that. Okay. And so from my father's standpoint, looking at the fact that I'm your child, your father rejected you, because my father, we had a powwow. He was like, he'd been on his own basically since he was about 12, 13. Okay. So you're here. Your father rejected your kids. You have a very strong woman who is not your mama, who kowtows to you. Okay, because my grandmother, was one to do my grandfather said, that there was the color purple generation.
Right.
The whole idea of that. So that was all of that. And then coming to, I'm gay. And I'm not your mini me. I'm not masculine. I don't like sports. I don't like working on cars, because that was my daddy's saying. A man supposed to, I don't like doing that shit. Okay. I don't like my hands dirty. I don't like the oil in my hands. I don't like all that. Okay. That was too much. Okay. So in order for him to do that, what came out of that was him taking that out on my mother, making it her fault, because she was teaching me how to be independent. I had to learn how to cook and clean. I had to learn how to sew a button on my shirt. He thought that was woman's work and stuff. And so a lot of his thing was, she's turning me into a sissy. See? So that toxicity there is what I simmered in while they were married. Okay. Then there's many folk out there who dealt with toxic parenting, from the mother's point of view. There's many of y'all who got mothers who take out their frustrations because they mad that the man didn't stay with them.
Right.
Okay. Y'all watch Precious. Okay. She sat down there and made this girl do all kinds of dastardly things because she felt like she wasn't loved because Precious's father left her or was giving her too much attention because now that's the baby. Okay. And the daddy didn't want nothing to do with the mama no more. So now all that toxic energy ends up being spewed onto the child. So now what happens? Do we make that, does that determine the child's destiny or their demise? Because Tina Turner, you know, not having a father there, you know, they always say either you're going to marry your dad, somebody just like him, his total opposite, or your fantasy of what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay. So one of those three options is what's going to happen. Tina and Ike, you know, her loyalty, and she says this in the documentary, I was so loyal to him because everybody left him. And I was loyal. And then she became afraid of him. So a lot of her loyalty was based out of fear.
Yeah.
You know? So now that fear has now taken her into levels of understanding who she was as a woman, and then not having her mama there to corroborate what a woman should be or how to act or do or whatever. She had to learn that on her own and come into her own. You know? So by the time she got to Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, she was, I won't say a broken woman because see, I don't believe in us being broken.
But she was broken. She was.
Well, I would say I like to change it like that. I'd say oftentimes a puzzle comes with all the pieces there. It's just not put together. All the time, all the pieces are there. It's just that we don't know how to put them together. And then we get so busy looking at the outfit. Y'all know that blue and green that in the background that look the same.
Right.
When you put a puzzle together, we get so caught up there to where we forget to look at. And so I like to change my thought process. I'm trying to come out and say I'm broken to where the puzzle got jumbled and you don't know how to put these pieces back together. Okay. Because the picture is there. You just can't see it clearly. But for the sake of argument, a lot of us, I'm going to say that he did imbue her spirit. He had broke that spirit down to where she had to find a way to build it back up, you know, and come into her own and understand who she was. Because she said in the documentary, when the Tina Turner album, when Private Dancer came out, a lot of folks were saying that was her comeback album. And she says, no, that wasn't a comeback album because nobody knew Tina Turner. They knew Ike and Tina. And they knew that. They never knew Tina. So this wasn't a comeback album. This was Tina Turner's debut. I thought that was the most profound thing that had come out of that.
Yeah.
Okay. This was Tina Turner's debut because it wasn't until that album that her success became hers and hers alone.
Hers alone, right.
You understand? She built it, she dissed it, she that, and it carried on. Now, Genius Aretha. A lot of folks don't like the movie and carrying on because they really didn't care for Cynthia Erivo. But the thing of it was, Aretha's loyalty to her daddy.
Oh, yes.
Aretha's loyalty to her dad. This womanizing son of a sapsucker, okay, done sat down here and basically pimped his daughter to fuel his success. Okay? Pimped his daughter.
And there's nothing new about that either. That happens, you know, that happens all the time. All the time.
You know,
there's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. Really.
And you know, and then the thing with that is because you know you also, and when you look at that, you look at some parents who pimp their daughters in the pageant systems. They start these little systems and trying to live their lives vicariously. I'm like, to me, that's one of the most. I'm like, yo, really? This child has more hairspray in her head than a grown woman. Right.
Yes.
Right, and don't forget the good old momagers out there. Like
what? Wait a minute, we got the momagers in all aspects of entertainment.
What's a momager?
The mom who's the manager.
Oh, momager.
Okay, so they wanted to manage their child's career. Right, they want to take over managing the child's career, but they hell on wheels. Nobody wants to deal with them. Listen, What about the dads who are the sports managers for their sons?
Right. It goes both ways.
You want them out here, and because you used to play somewhere or wanted to play, now you done put all that pressure on all your male children.
Talk about
all of your male children.
Yes, every one of them has to play football because I couldn't be a professional. Come on, really?
Oh, okay.
Remember, Serena Venus' father also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because
But you notice when these people got into their own, they was like, "This ain't a good fit for me, Dad, Mom. I love you, but this ain't working out.
This ain't working. I had to come into my own.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So when we talk about that kind of talk, does it fuel to the child's destiny, or does it create their demise? Because we have a number of folks. We're talking about the celebrities here.
About Michael Jackson. That's another prime example of the Jacksons. Even though, and you know, I think he was one of the ones out of all the other siblings that I always heard. He was the one that was always like, my dad was so tough. My dad never let. Right. But at the same time, you was making that money off of dad's push. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know,
another recent example, Tiger Woods.
I was going there.
Right.
Yeah. Hello.
That's right.
Hello.
But let's remember back in the day, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman.
I was going there. I was just about to go there too. I was just about to go there.
And Webster.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you just think about all of them.
Britney
all of them down to the years. Huh?
Right. And she's going through hell now. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but at some point if you get your kids, I mean, of course, they all need a push to get in something because you have to know where their talent is and try to cultivate it. There's nothing wrong with cultivating their talent, helping them. If you know you send a tape over to Tommy that plays football and Tommy can help your child, you leave it once you get them started. Because I got a couple of cousins. My cousins' kids play basketball. They played, but they didn't make pro, but they made, what's the other one where they're, it's pro ball, but they play overseas. I don't know. Okay. They play overseas, but their dad played overseas as well. So of course he know how to help them get overseas too, you know. But the thing about it, at some point you have to let them do their own professional, you know, you got to let them stand on their own. You know, you can't be there making every decision for them. Oh, they got to play this one. They got to play with this team or that team. They should be able to, at some point, be able to go where they want to go and have whatever managers and stuff they want. Right. And I'm not saying they shouldn't use their dad. They should be able to say, you know, go get, what do you call it? I'm coming to you for some advice. It's okay to give your kids advice, but don't continue their whole career, try to manage it all.
Right.
That's like managing your grown kids. You can't.
Right.
At some point, I gotta let my kids be grown and say, you know what? I can't. I love to continue. I kind of help you, or if you call me about somebody or about my grandkids, I will give you advice on what I think and how I would do certain things. But them your kids. I done did my job with you. You raised.
How about that? How about
you know
that?
What I'm saying? You do what you gotta do.
And then, you know, even in that with the parents being managers, one of their biggest problems is I'm like, but guess what? It's okay to let your child make his own mistake.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Because you keep on making mistakes for him, but let him or her make their own mistakes because it's not going to have the same effect to it. They're not going to learn from it the same way as they say, well, you know what, Dad, I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have went and got that manager. But if they don't ever have that chance, they're not. That's a part of their life that you just taken away from them.
Right. Yeah. And when you put them in situations where they are actors and movie stars making more money than most adults they know because it's an adult-based industry, the decision making is different. This ain't like you taking your kid and putting them in Little League, okay? You got your Disney.
Say that.
The people in China know who your child is. They got little guys that look like Hannah Montana and whatnot.
How about that? Okay.
Your child is a little different at that point.
So sometimes your child is gonna need an entertainment lawyer compared to just a lawyer.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But let's make this practical, because a lot of what we're talking about, it's easy for us to look at entertainers and those who have become in the limelight. Okay. And when we talk about toxic parenting and carrying on, we can see that because they've been so public. But what about those who, okay, they're successful in business and their parents, they've been so rich and it's so hard to where you need to be a doctor, or now you try to chart out what I'm supposed to be in life. Oh, you gonna be a doctor.
Right.
Oh, you gonna be a lawyer. Oh, you gonna go to this school because that's my alma mater. Oh, you're going to play at one of these fraternities or sororities because that's what I play at. In this family, we don't have no deltas. We're AKAs of this
Right.
family.
I got cousins that are like that too, and I'm sitting up there like, because you went to Texas, the Longhorns.
Right.
Everybody in your family got to go to Longhorns, and when they don't, you don't want to support. You won't support them in case they do it.
Right, and then you belittle them, you berate them, and all those kinds of things to where it becomes toxic because now you have stripped the person. Or you're trying to taint their growth, or you're trying to stifle their accomplishments, or either you end up getting kids in the mindset of whatever I do, I'm never good enough because it wasn't the way you said it's supposed to be.
Right.
There's this family in Calvert County, Maryland, and one of the toxic things that they do is everybody in the family is light skinned, and they will not intermingle with anybody outside of the family.
Wow.
And a lot of the children were born with, of course, Down syndrome.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait. Hold up. Okay. I got part of what you said. So you're saying they only intermingle as in
brothers and sisters and blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Intermingle, you talking about intermingle?
Talking about reproducing.
Okay, that's what. So, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
He got his coffee.
So you saying only the family can deal with the family?
Right.
What else seems something illegal about that?
Honey, it's a lot of things that I can't even begin to even try to picture in my mind's eye.
You know what? I like that. How about you want the best for your kids and etc. Listen,
and there's nothing wrong with that. You should want the best for your kids.
But you know what? Here is why that becomes an excuse. Because that's what a lot of that toxic energy, that's the umbrella excuse that it hides up under.
Right.
Okay. That I'm trying to push you so you could be the best. In our bloodline, honey, we only have the very best, and I need you to be your best. If I don't push you, they're not going to push you to your optimum. And I have to make sure that because I want to toxic energy is just that, toxic. It does nothing but taint and soil the fertility of whatever soil that of the playing field. And so oftentimes parents they get bent out of shape. They get all into that. Some of the best things, and I think I'm sure we keep saying there's no book on parenting, but I think every parent needs to write a book to say this is what happened and how we did it. Everybody's not going to agree because every child is different. Every relationship is different. I know I go back to Eddie and Gerald Levert. Okay. They had a relationship that was probably unorthodox in the eyes of most. Okay. And carried on, but they were father and son, and that's how they knew how to communicate with each other. Okay. And it worked. Okay. And so oftentimes I think what happens is that we have to learn your child's life is your child's life. It's not yours. Your child is not your mini you. Your child is not to sit down there to be your fucking possession. Your child's life is your child's life. When you pay attention to your child is going to gravitate to that you know what the child like and what they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you pay attention, they're gonna tell it. Okay, you see what their hobbies are, you see what they're good at. And it is up to us as parents to encourage what they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't sit down there to try to turn them into something you want them to be. Here's an example. My mother always wanted me to be a lawyer. Okay.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, here's the thing. I'm an actor, so I play one on TV. Ha!
All right now. Hey. That's all right.
Okay. So I got the best of both worlds. I got what I want to do, and then I give her what she wants because she could see me playing a lawyer. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, but what it was, she had to pull back because when I was on the debate team, and I loved it, honey. I live for the debate team. Okay. And we were a prize-winning debate team, honey. Cody High School, honey. We had the city championship for the first 2 years consecutive. Okay. That's right. I graduated, honey, with that. Yes. Okay. At the same time, my calling is the stage. Okay, my calling is the stage. I love to, and if I'm not entertaining, then I'm a life coach because I'm in everybody's business trying to show them, watch your mouth over there just to get out of here. Okay. Yeah. So, but I like seeing the joy of seeing people get it, and they see how they can get that. That brings me, because I believe that's just spirit. When I see them connect with what they call God and how the pieces come together for them, I get joy out of that. So all of that is where my passions lie. Okay, so my mother had to let me flourish. Okay. In order for me to be me, because her idea of me being a lawyer, that was her idea. Because she said, your mouth, you always tell your mouth, honey, you know how to run that mouth and you know how to talk yourself out of whatever. Okay, I'm gonna throw something at you. I said, get out of here. Okay. So that there is what that was. So she paid attention. My brother, on the other hand, my brother was more business minded and he was sports minded. Okay, my brother was a jack of all trades kind of guy. Okay, and this my sisters, my one sister, she's a community organizer. Okay, and they're identical twins. One is a community organizer. Honey, this girl would sit down here and would rally the troops and get some things together, and this that she get that from my mama. Her twin sister. Now my baby sister, honey, she is the caregiver of the world, honey. Okay, she is me times 2. Okay, and she's good with children. My sister really needs to have a daycare center because that's her thing. Her thing is making sure these kids are left in as a child, and you train them right, and you teach kids they don't need to grow up so fast. They need to be children. That's her thing. Okay, that is her thing. So my mom knew that, and I wish that a lot of parents would get into that idea of watching your child and watch them flourish, because they're going to tell you who they are. Now you have to accept who they are, even when you don't like it. Because a lot of times, now we got some that are out there, honey, the streets, they just got a talent for them damn streets. Okay. And that's their thing. That's their thing. Okay. So now we got to make boundaries. Now, I'm not in for that. However, okay, the parents always say, whatever it is you do, I just want you to be the best at it. You be good at whatever it is. Okay. But I don't believe that oftentimes, I think that's more cliche than it is a real statement. Because when the child show you exactly what it is that they're doing, that they're good at, you got a problem.
And it may not be good for them to be that good in some of the things they're good at.
Right. Okay. Right.
Your kid may be a good killer. I don't want you to kill all the time.
I don't want you to do all that, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. As long as you know not to bring that here, because that's between you and God. I got to put you in God's hands because I know how I raised you.
Right, right.
I know how I raised you, but I don't know what you got to do out here in these streets because, see, you don't know my story. Because when I look back on what my mama taught me, see, and carrying on. And the man that I have become, my mama don't know the shit that I done did to make a dollar, okay, or had to do or needed to do or whatever the case may be. But that ain't for her to know because I don't need to break her heart. Okay. All she needs to know is I've had my own struggles and I knew to go to God and whatever my higher power is when I was in trouble. And I knew how to go to God when I wasn't in trouble. Like, oh, thank you, Lord, because I'm still here. The blessings are still ever flowing and abundant, honey. The cup ain't never empty, honey, because the water's still running. Okay.
Hallelujah.
So
Hallelujah.
with that being said, that there is what we as parents and as elders and as mentors, as pseudo parents and stand-in parents and all of that, that's what we have to do when it comes down to these kids to remove a lot of that toxicity. And here's the other thing, because see, here's what y'all hear me say this often over here, that the village has become the villain. Okay, the village has become the villain. Okay, and we don't have that close-knit connection to one another to where we feel comfortable with chastising somebody else's kids the way that we used to. When somebody was acting out of line, which is why a lot of these teenagers and stuff are doing what the hell they doing, because when Miss Johnson used to be the nosy neighbor looking out of her window that everybody couldn't stand. We couldn't stand that. Okay, but she was necessary.
Amen.
Necessary. Because it kept us in line. It kept us knowing that we had a consequence. Okay? But nobody's afraid of consequences anymore because we don't instill consequence.
But you know
what we do is we reward negative behavior.
Oh,
we get them rap contracts. We get them television shows. We get them likes on the damn social media every time they post up this craziness. We reward it. Okay? So it causes them to do more because every time they reward it, now they got to top the last video. See.
But you know what? We also allow them to use that word generation too much. Because let me give you a little bit of history lesson.
Give it to me.
My mother and my father and me, we weren't born in the same generation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
So for these parents that, oh, now it's a different generation. I wasn't born in the same generation with my parents, but let me tell you something. Generation was never no excuse, and my parents wasn't going to let it be one. Period.
Say it. Say it.
Amen.
Say it.
So it's a different generation. But guess what? When my mother then grew up, they didn't have running water. When I grew up, I did. Different generation. So don't use that word generation as an excuse.
Wait a minute. They didn't have running water, but they knew how to tell you to turn that damn thing off so that bill didn't go up, didn't they?
Hello. So I'm like, no. I'm like,
okay. Don't give me that. Okay.
And we're not. And we need to get back to respect.
Yes.
Say that, sister. Say that.
Respect, because the thing about it is, my kids still don't call me and just be like, yo, mom, and hey, and all that. No.
Right.
You will respect. When you call me, you will respect me as your mom. And you ain't going to call me nothing else but your mom. You got people calling their mamas, hey, Gladys, and hey, and all this. I don't care how old I get. My mama is still my mama, even though my mama didn't raise me. I still refer to her that way because she is in a different generation. And we have gotten away from just regular respect.
Right.
Regular respect.
Because they even try to make respect a generational thing. Respect never has been a generational thing. Respect is respect all by itself. Period.
My 35-year-old daughter still says yes, ma'am, and no, sir, to me and my husband.
How about that? And let me put this in here. And when we say respect, we mean genuine respect that is commanded and not demanded. Because for all you little punks out there that want to get up in somebody's face for disrespecting you disrespecting me, man.
Right.
And all that old calamity, what did you do to earn it outside of sitting up there flossing and think that because you out here on the streets or because you could drive on 26s and carrying on, that's supposed to mean respect. Don't nobody give 2 cents less than a damn about that.
Right.
What have you done to command it? What is your presence saying that say, this is a man of integrity. This is a man of dignity.
There you go.
This is a man oh, you know, who understands all of this, that, and the other. Oh, wait a minute, Amy, what you say? My mother would have shot my soul out of my body if I called her Cheryl. Let me tell you
Thank
something.
you, Amy. Thank you.
I
Amen.
did that. I did this one time because I had to get my mother's attention. We were in the store. My mother was already in the store. I was getting off work, and we were in Rite Aid, and I saw her over getting I think she was getting a soda or some water or something, and I kept saying, "Mom, Mom," and she didn't pay attention because she's like, "Honey, as much as I hear Mama all the time, honey, I didn't know nobody was talking to me." So when I said Lorraine, and she caught my voice, if y'all had saw the way she stood up out that freezer, she turned around and looked at me. And I said, whoa, Mama, I'm just trying to let you know it's me. And she's,
don't you ever.
Face, her jaws got tight. She said, boy, I thought I was, and I said, Mama, I was just trying to get your attention. I said, I was calling you, but you didn't turn around. She said, and that's what she said. As many times I hear Mama all the time, I didn't know you were talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I said, so I had to call you by your name. My mother will be 71 next month, honey.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way that Essie Lorraine, honey, would be called Essie Lorraine to her face by me. She's only did that when I'm talking about her like this.
I always say Ann and reference to her, but to her face, crippled or not, I know I still will not call her to her face.
Listen, that part of that was this, and I got this early on. I am not your friend.
That's
I am
right.
your parent.
That's right.
You have not earned the right to call me by my first name because I would never be my first name to you. I'm always Mama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You understand?
And we had a respect in oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and we had a respect in our home that I used to call my kids, just for teaching purposes, I would call them Mr. and Miss. I'd say,
that's good.
I would say Miss Jasmine, Miss Jessica.
Yes.
You know, because I wanted them to understand respect goes both ways. I will always be Mom, but I need you to understand you're gonna grow up to be this, and I want you to have that. You know, I call my son. I call him little King J. I used to call him King J all the time. His name's Joshua. All my kids are J's. And his name was Joshua. I call him King J. I always wanted him to know, regardless what you acting like, you are a king.
Right.
And I need you to understand that. Not in a crazy way, but I just need you to understand you are important. I want you to love yourself. I want you to have love for other people. We got to teach our kids first of all, we got to learn to love ourselves and God, number one. Higher power, whatever anybody wants to call it, call him. But I say God. You got to learn to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Then you learn to love yourself and love others as you love yourself. And so with that, I always told, that's like, that old saying, if you can't say something nice to somebody, don't say nothing at all.
Right.
Those kind of lessons that we hear.
Right.
But my thing was like, if you're not saying nothing nice if you're not going to say nothing nice, then pray about it. Because because you need to, it can't be, don't say nothing nice at all, because when you do that, it's still up here.
Because you're holding on it and you're harboring it.
Right. You're harboring
it. And it's going to take root. It's going to take root.
If you're not going to say nothing nice about somebody, pray about it. I need you to pray for them, because we need to teach them respect, love, dignity, responsibility. We've got a lot. It's not just our generation, but my generation was lost in a lot. I'm 55. Our generation was lost in a lot of ways too, because it's like we grew up in a lot of the people my own age, they want to be their kids' best friends. The mama pregnant, the daughter pregnant, and now they got grandkids that, it's like, wait a minute. Maybe not but you know what I'm saying? It's like, and they all living in the same, they went from one house, everybody lived there. Now this kid doesn't have a kid, they live there. This kid doesn't have a kid, and they live there. And it's somewhere there was a breakdown. Mm-hmm. And we gotta get, and I know one of it is the welfare system.
Get out of my head, because I was just going to go there. We got generations of folks being raised on public assistance, because all you see is somebody sitting back getting a check and food stamps every 2 weeks.
Well, okay, so you want to go that direction, but my direction, when I say the welfare system, I'm saying when they put you on the welfare system, they took the man out the house.
The man out the house, yeah.
So when the man's
in
out
black families, let's stress that.
Right. In black
because
families.
in white families, welfare system, they were still there, and the welfare didn't come in the woman's name; it came in his name, because you understand? Get that. So they preserved those families and still gave the white man his respect as the head of the household.
And that's why they look down. That's why they look down on black people that have welfare. They look down on us when more of them are at the welfare office getting the welfare.
Exactly.
And you know what? I remember when I was still married to my children's mother. Me and my children's mother, we got public assistance. I mean, we never got the money, we got the food stamps. But by me working for social service, I made sure that our benefits came in both of our names. Because I told them, I said, because I don't want any kind of excuses for why I cannot use these benefits as well as my wife.
Okay.
Amy's asking, wait, they won't issue welfare assistance to black families with fathers.
In the beginning, they did not.
No.
They've relaxed it, but most of the fathers who get welfare now are single dads. And here's the ticket.
And it's harder for them to get.
Yeah, it's hard for them. They take a man through changes. And now single men on who getting us any kind of public assistance, honey, we don't get cash benefits, number one.
Right.
Number two, a single man every 3 months have to be reevaluated.
Which is why I be getting food stamps this month, because I was not filling out the 24 pages of paperwork that but the fact that I was a child of God. No, I'm not going through all that.
Let me tell you this, a segment that we forget. Black men who are just released out of the penal system can get food stamps like that. And they can get temporary cash assistance.
Well,
in some states.
In Georgia, they can't.
In Missouri, they can't.
They'll probably get food stamps. They won't get no cash though.
Oh no! Here in Baltimore and the Nashville area, I know men who got out, and the first thing they did was went to social service, got their food stamps and their TCA. But the TCA only lasts for 3 months. But they get
right, but that's the same here, because every 3 months you have to requalify if you're single. Everything now, honey, unless you got children, men with children who get on the system, they have an easier time. But it ain't the bells and whistles like a woman does. Woman with children, they keep saying this is a man's world. No, it ain't. This is a woman's world. A man just run it hatefully. A man just run it, because a woman can do anything. Okay. All the programs and everything are set up for women to excel, achieve, get over, get it done, etc., etc. Now there are hoops. Now I ain't gonna say there ain't no hoops, but a woman can do it. Now a woman with children, child, that's the gold mine. That's the gold mine, because now a woman with kids, which is why the federal government had to put a cap on it. Because remember, back in the day, a woman would sit down there and have babies just to get the increase in the check and the stamp. See, you know, so now that there is where this is, and so a lot of times, and here that there is toxic, because if all you see is us depending on the system and running the system and stunting, see now the hustle becomes the stunt, and not trying to elevate. It's all about trying to get over, you know, and get over on somebody. Not about growth. It's all about trying to get over. And
can I say something? And with that, you got people that they're even giving the women an educational outlet, and the women won't take it.
Yeah.
Right.
They're paying for their daycare. They're
Yeah.
paying for foods. They give them food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving them a side stifle, a stipend, a cash stipend, and then they turn around and say, you know what? If you go to school, you're going to get this amount of money, or we'll pay your way through school or whatever. Or it probably won't be a 4-year degree, but we're going to give you this, and they will sit and not do it because guess what? When they start making the money, they start taking away.
They start cutting on the benefits, right?
They start cutting down on the benefits, and that's a twofold thing because you kind of look at it, and if you get a job, I mean, let's just be realistic. If you get a job, and you were talking about it last night, Meech, about the wages for $14 an hour, $7 an hour, wherever state you're in. Those parents can't go out and work. If they go to college and they may not get that decent job, they're more well off sitting at home, because then they turn around once you get through the college program, they take your daycare away, they take this away.
Yeah.
And so then you turn around, if you got two kids in daycare at the same time, that's your check.
That's it. Say it.
So people are like, well, you know what? I'll just sit at home for 5 or 6 years till Johnny gets in school. If I can get everybody in school full time, then I can go out and try to then I can maybe get a chance to get ahead. But you done devalue yourself, not in a bad, I don't mean to sound, but you done made it where you don't go out and do nothing for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
Wait till 2 of your kids can get out of the daycare, just so you can use your educational benefits and go on and do anything. By then, you lived on the system 5 or 6, 10 years.
And I taught your kid that this is the way to do
this
it.
Is normal.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is normal, which is what happened. A girl that you know.
Yeah, because then you'll have that mother who has an underage child that needs to get on the system, but can only get on the system under the mother's name.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because see, okay, and Buck, you remember this?
That's because the system wasn't built for us.
No, it wasn't. when we were teenagers and they had the summer youth employment program.
Yes.
Okay. And they had us sitting down there being junior police cadets and weed walkers and carrying on.
Right. The yellow shirt.
I remember that.
The yellow shirt children, yeah.
The yellow shirts. Okay. Child, here's where this was. That was supposed to be a benefit for, impoverished children and carrying on. Those were in the system, and we were in the system because my mother been disabled since 1980. A 30-year-old woman who was told she could not work anymore by her doctors. Okay, I just need y'all to ponder that. Yeah. A 30-year-old woman with 4 kids going through a divorce, and her doctor said, "You can't work no more." Yeah, let that fizzle. Oh, when I tell you God is good, honey.
I know it firsthand because I'm there now.
Okay. The summer youth employment program was supposed to be a help. Okay. Mm-hmm. It gets teenagers out. We get a taste of having our first jobs and this, that, and the other. We get into the system. But what happened was this. Because I had the job, they took me off of my mother's grant. So she wasn't getting the money from me anymore. So that cut her. Yeah. Do I did it? Cut me all the way out until the summer was over, and then they put me back in. Yep. Okay. So then it became, how do you get over, or how did you do better? Because minimum wage was $3.35 an hour at that time, honey. So the little check I was getting wasn't no money. No. We worked 40 hours a week, and then that's when we found out about FICA and SOOOOO.
State tax, all that good stuff.
Okay. Okay, state, and we had state and local taxes taken out to check. Okay. So when we started getting into the system, it did not give us the advantage that we thought it was. Yeah, we got a couple of skills of this, that, and the other, but it did not give us this is a stepping stone to take me. What it does, we just ran around in circles. Because when you thought you was getting over here on this end, they even cut my mother's food stamps. They cut me completely out of that equation during the time that I had the summer job. Because it was considered income. How about that? It was considered income. Now, to show you how shit ain't changed, my nephews, the first set of my nieces and nephews, all of them would be 27. No, is that right? 26, 27 this year. It's 26 because they were born in 95. Okay, they'll be 26 this year. Okay. What, 2-3 years ago, my sister had to sit down and basically have my nephew leave the house because of his age and because he was considered a grown man living at home. When it was time for my sister to have her reevaluation for her younger 2 kids, they told her that my nephew lived in the house, honey. They were gonna cut her stamps and cut everything off because his income was enough to take care of him and her kids. I said, wait a minute, wait, that's your son, that ain't your husband. What the hell are you talking about? She said, that's what they told her. So my nephew had to move in order to keep her together so that she could still get the benefits and stuff for his brother and sister.
That's so wrong.
In every and they home in Detroit. That there's what Michigan did. So it ain't nothing changed.
Right.
It ain't changed. That's why I'm saying this here is 2021. I said this was 3 years ago. Okay, come on now. It ain't changed.
So going back to this where you were talking about the toxicity of all that, though, is part of the toxic situation in all of that is that we are a world of people that need to. Well, no, I almost lost my train of thought. Lord help me. Okay, so I'm trying to get this out. When you do that to a family. When you do that to a family, that anger, that automatically would anger your sister. I can imagine. You know what I'm saying? Here, I have a child that is, even though he's grown by age, 18, maybe 17, 18, I guess, whatever. He's grown by that age, but he's not grown. He still isn't grown. Because what 18-year-old really can go out there and pretty much at 18 be able to pay their rent, they work, their rent, their car notes, their even have a car, you know what I'm saying? Pay for insurance, pay for all their at 18. Who's got a job like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's unrealistic in any level. So that would make a mother or the woman of the house, or however you want to put it, become angry with that. Because you're telling me that now I got these 2 younger children that I really need help for, and you're expecting my son, my older son, to be able to care for all of us, and you're telling us that we make too much money with his income and my income, that now the little kids don't get nothing. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous on any level, and it becomes, and then the parent. I don't know how your sister was, but that would make some people go off to the 9th ward. You see what I'm saying? Because at that point you're making a mother have to choose between loving her child that she knows isn't ready to be out there, who's going to end up making some bad decisions because they're stuck out there at 18 and they ain't ready. So when they go to the streets and try to make an extra dollar, and the cops top them. You see what I'm saying?
Help out mama because mama's struggling.
Yeah, and so then now the mama got that issue going on. The little kids ain't getting everything they need, and you're causing an environment to be more toxic than it really needs to be. All because you would rather. And Lord help me, Jesus, because I get so frustrated. I was telling my husband earlier today. I was like, but. And it goes back to the homeless situation, because your nephew, now I'm not going to say y'all as a family would leave him hanging, but what I'm saying is if he couldn't go back to mama and he couldn't come to you all, then he's out there on the streets homeless somewhere.
But let's look at it from this particular perspective. If he didn't want to, because he's trying to assert his independence, you see, because now I'm a man.
Right.
See?
That too. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now I got to do this. So when times that got hard, you don't want to put that on mama because mama already struggling.
Right.
See?
Right.
Okay.
And if
Mama
I come
already
back,
struggling.
if I come back, she ain't gonna get the money that she's used to having.
Exactly. So, honey, no.
And then they turn around and they don't mind giving up. And I hate to say this because I am military, retired military now, but they'll go and open up an old base. You know what I'm saying? An old base to house immigrants, but we can't go and house those young people or just people that are struggling on our streets now.
You know what? Okay, you know what? Okay, that we gonna end it right there, girl. Because you finna hit a nerve for me. Because in this country, all 50, in all 50, soon to be 51 states of this country, it is blasphemous to say homeless vet. It is sacrilege to say homeless vet in these United States of America. You understand me? All these bases y'all done closed down or whatever. If y'all don't want to be military up, turn them into units so that the military, these folks can sit down here. They used to it. This is what they trained in. They know what the barracks are. You can't open it up so that they could be off these. Okay, didn't I say we were gonna go? We're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold that because, girl, my blood is boiling. I've never served.
Mine too. I get very.
I never served in the military because I've always said God gave us too much land to be fighting over it, and I didn't. No, I wasn't gonna go. But I respect and I fight for everybody who put on whatever uniform, honey, for whatever branch, including the reserves. Okay, including ROTC. Okay, I respect everybody who sit up there and particularly those of you who said, I want to do this, because there was a time where you were told you was going to do it. And when you got drafted and you had no choice. Okay. So here.
And those people got treated the worst. They come back from America and got treated the worst. And oh Lord, I could just we need a show on our own on that one.
I know. Because that's a whole nother show on itself. Because honey, I'm telling you okay. What we gonna do, children? We gonna let y'all get back to y'all evening. I'm gonna go over here and watch Miss Mahalia.
Meech, before you go, I want to say this. I want to give big ups because I may have missed it earlier, but I want to give big ups to the stance that the Major League Baseball is taking.
Amen.
You know what? Thank you. Let's go. Yes. I saw something that President Obama had endorsed their stance and carrying on. My whole thing is this. Y'all know that everything about sports, everything about the voting suppression thing, everything, this is all politics. Okay? And we all know exactly how to hit. You want to hit, you hit them in the pocket. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all may not like what I'm about to say, and it's going to sound racist, but okay. The Brave Stadium and stuff is up in Cobb County. It's not Atlanta. It's Smyrna.
Right. That's right.
Okay? It's in Smyrna. Okay? That there is Cobb County. Cobb County is one of our most affluent counties here in Georgia. Okay? So the business owners that carrying on that they're talking about were a lot of Caucasian ran businesses. Okay? But here is where it is. If you really want to make an impact, you have to hit them where it's going to hurt. After everything that we done went through down here, coming through COVID, coming through all these businesses shutting down, we got a lot of businesses that were gone. I don't care what color you were running it. A lot of black-owned businesses, a lot of businesses have been gone, shut out, wiped down. Okay, so this was an opportunity for this money to come up in here. However, because of the man we got sitting in the high seat here, he signed that bill behind closed doors. It wasn't. He did that. So that's how I know it was
sneaky.
You did that behind closed doors. Any other time, it's a whole big to do when you signing a bill into law. sneaky ass sapsucker, any other time. This is done on the heels. He doesn't admit it. He says that he stands behind it. But you know that the undercurrents of this bill says everything that everybody's protesting. So for the MLB to sit down and say, you know what, since y'all doing that, never mind, we're not going to come there. We're going to go someplace else. Okay, we're going to go someplace else. Now, we all know copycats are coming. Copycats are coming. Now, is it going to hurt? Yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, and it's going to have a serious hurt. At the same time of having a serious hurt, it's going to force us to reevaluate it. If you want to sit down here and look at this bill, then go up in here and look at it, but you not signed it already. You signed it into law. So now we've got to look at this for real. We got to look at it. How did you outlaw somebody's passing out food? This fool said on the news the other day, talking about something, well, y'all sitting there looking at the wrong thing. Why are you mad because we said you can't pass out water? Why are you not mad that somebody has to stand in line for 5 or 6 hours? We've been mad about that. We told you that all the time. Why the machines ain't damn working? We tell y'all that at every election. Y'all the ones who keep telling us that, oh, we got better machines.
This is all we got.
And every time we go up there trusting that you done got machines, y'all get all this news coverage. Oh, the machines are this, and oh, it's all sophisticated. Then we get there, the damn things break down, and I know at my poll, it took us an hour. I was there on the second day of early voting. Second day, and it took us an hour. It was a shutdown for an hour because the damn thing went down. So we just standing there. Okay, so now, luckily, we were on the inside. Okay. What about those who are outside? What about senior citizens who can't walk? We are at.
And what month was that again? That was November, right?
Yeah.
So even in Georgia, I'm not saying it's not bad, but imagine being out there in the heat of the day.
That's what I'm talking about. And y'all know
they're not even. I'm just so angry about all that.
Y'all talking about the absentee ballots are carrying on, but see, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So now that y'all done sit up there and put all this in place, that means that what we're gonna have to do is that we got to outfox the fox.
There you go. There you go.
Because see, we can't. And what it is as people, I want y'all to hear me. I need y'all to hear me. Because I know we like to wait till the last fucking minute to do something. I know I'm a procrastinator, so I'm talking to myself as well. I know I'm talking to me as well. You can't wait until 1 or 2 months before it's time to go to the polls to try to get your paperwork in order.
That's right.
Because y'all know that's when they do all of the dastardly stuff because they know what you're doing. Absolutely. Now is the time. Everybody who talking about all this voter suppression and stuff, be mad about that, but also encourage these. We got to start doing the campaign now. Look at this. There's always something to vote on coming up. We got all these local things that we got to look at. We always got something coming down the pipeline. This is the time to make sure the senior citizens got their paperwork in order, to make sure they got the proper identification. Y'all know it takes a minute to get these IDs anyway. Make sure that they got all that. This is the time to get the footwork done so that when it's time to go to the poll, we done outsmarted them. Y'all think y'all trying to sit down there and keep folks from voting. Since I can't pass it out to you at the line, well, honey, when I see you walking up, okay, you go into the polls, here goes some water, here's a bag of peanuts, honey. We got like we on the app, we on Delta or something. You understand?
And you all can start with, if you have any serious questions, call your local board of elections.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, and the other thing, and I said, you know, they can be stupid if they want to, but get a food truck across the street somewhere off that property and have water and pass out water before those people get in line.
Bottom line, they said because they're saying that the law is a misdemeanor. If you really want to do it and test that law, you get several food trucks out there.
How about that?
Money ahead of time in a GoFundMe so that when it happens and they call themselves locking you up, you pay your way right back up out of there.
See,
but if it's 5 or 10 food trucks and there's 100 people passing out food and water, you think they're gonna take the city resources to lock all them people up on a misdemeanor?
How about that?
Right.
So
right.
now is the time, people. Now is the time.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
is the time. Now is the time. And here, let's compartmentalize this, because sign the petitions and let those who on the excuse me, on the fight for the bill and all of that, let them fight. But we got to get a second team going so that we could get this next movement and this next wave going, so that we could get the people registered, we get the ID and stuff, like, because they already ready. Y'all saw what for the presidential stuff that you thought you were registered and got down there. They talking about you at the wrong precinct and this, that, and the other. No, now is the time
to find out what precinct you're supposed to be
get
at.
it date stamped, get it time stamped, so that when you go down there, you tell them, I'm here and this is what y'all said this is, because on the day of, I don't want no jazz.
Right.
And that's what
Okay,
you're gonna
because
get.
this is what y'all told me. Y'all time stamped this and said, this is my poll. You did not send out anything that said nothing changed, or I didn't have a change of address. I know. Okay. So and now, speaking of changes of address, a lot of y'all like to move. For all my gypsies out there, for those of y'all who buying and selling houses or whatever, after you get your paperwork done with all of that, go down and make sure you change that down at the thing. You got to stay on top of that.
Right.
That's what we have to press out now.
And we have to go by. The thing about it is there's laws in every state. And I've lived in probably about at least 12 or 13 states in the United States where I've actually lived. And the thing about it is every state, you got 30 days when you move your address, you have 30 days where you're supposed to go get your ID changed to that new address anyway. So if people would go ahead and just be lawful in the first place and do what they've already said, we wouldn't have a lot of those issues.
Exactly. And they tell you all the time when you go redo your ID. Okay. They tell you that all the time. You know, do you want to register to vote? They tell you that when every time you go change your ID or go have to go, they ask you that right there. Do you want to register to vote?
Right.
Okay. They ask you that all the time. So, hell, you know you're going to change your address. Say yes. Yes, I'll register. Okay. Yes. Okay. That
and no,
way
I ain't gonna be a donor.
Exactly.
And,
okay.
And what you said, Meech and Doc, which was really keep abreast, because this year for elections it kind of threw me for a loop, because I didn't know until I went to my polling place, which is across the street at the school, and I went there to vote. I was like, ain't nobody in line, ain't no signs. And I called them, but they said, oh no, you can actually vote wherever you want to now. I didn't know that. But see, those things you have to call in early to find out, because you don't want to be discouraged if you go automatically go into your old voting place and ain't nobody voting there.
Right. Exactly. So
Amen.
that there is that.
See, now here in Baltimore, you can vote anywhere. You don't have no certain precinct to go to anymore.
Exactly. Okay, and now that there for a lot of that is for early registration and early voting. Something now, when it comes down to the actual day of election and carrying on, it's supposed to be when the precincts are up and running. But you have to do your research and know what everything is, children. You have to know.
Because that's what they're banking on. They're banking on you not knowing that your precinct was changed. They banking on that you don't know what early voting is. They banking on that you don't know anything about how to do an absentee ballot. Those are the things that they're banking on, and those are the things that we need to stay on top of.
Exactly. I totally agree. I totally agree. Now, one more thing. I said I was letting y'all go, and I meant to do this yesterday, but there's a new app. It's not available on Android phones yet. It's only on iPhones.
Well,
but
that comes me out.
A black woman, a mother, has created a new app called Just Us. Okay, it's a mobile app to help protect black drivers. Now I'm gonna read this real quickly. Okay. It says, in a display of motherly love and concern for her son's safety, one mom created a mobile app that would protect black drivers in the event they are pulled over by the police. Charmaine Davis, a clinical psychotherapist in California, was concerned as her son neared driving age, as black drivers were more likely to be pulled over by police than white drivers. A study published in the Nature Human Behavior found that black drivers in the United States were 20% more likely to be stopped than white drivers, and 1.5 to 2 times as likely to be searched afterwards. Another study conducted by Harvard researchers found that Black people were more than 3 times as likely to be killed during a police encounter. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's
Wait a
sad
minute.
but true. That I believe.
Okay. 3 times more likely. Ain't that nothing? A driver's license to me meant that he was going to be out in the world and I couldn't protect him, Davis told Good Morning America. I just kind of pondered, what can I do? How can I stay connected without stagnating this young man who was ready to venture off?
Yeah,
Okay.
That part.
Okay. So the Just Us app launched in August and has currently about 3,000 users. The name is a play from the word justice. There are 3 main features to the app. Check in. We'll send a message to a designated contacts that the person is safe and send their current location. Heads up notifies designated contacts that the person is being pulled over by law enforcement, sends their location, and begins live streaming. Help will begin live streaming and notify anyone within a 3-mile radius of the app that a person needs assistance. All features have the ability to be hands-free with voice activation, something that Davis was adamant about due to the harsh reality that many Black drivers face. We know that a lot of incidents happen when folks reaching for things, Davis said. And so the voice activation was so important to me because you're not reaching for anything. There's no misconceptions here.
Amen.
Okay.
That's excellent.
Right. Despite her busy schedule, wait a minute. I done went too far. Oh, child, come on. Despite her busy schedule, Davis went above and beyond the call of duty, even funding the project herself. She was so committed to this that she used her own money. Candace Walker, a social impact technologist who worked with Davis on the app, told GMA. As you can imagine, this technology isn't cheap to develop, so it was a big deal. You can't put a price on love, Davis said of her monetary support. Accountability and connection are other important aspects for Davis, who said the app keeps everyone accountable and that the more people who download the app, the safer they would be. Just from a cultural aspect, we have always, as African Americans and as people of color, put our safety in someone else's hands, she said. And this is just a way to put it back in ours as in a peaceful way. And we're not connecting, and we are connecting with law enforcement and saying this protects not just me, but you too. The app's functionality extends beyond driving and can be used in any situation where someone feels they are in danger. We did a community meeting once, and one young lady said that she had used it on her college campus at night when she felt afraid, Davis said. She was just so happy to have it. The location data itself can be used as a way to bring up safety issues to policymakers and to be an impetus for change. Walker noted that the data can be gathered to pinpoint specific areas down to the street corners that have high incident reports. David used her experience of working with families who have experienced domestic violence and sex trafficking to highlight how the app can be used in those situations as well. Even if the phone was taken, we would be able to see if they need help, and they would be able to get help because it has their location on it, she says. And it's not like the phone would be talking. So if someone is harming them, they would know that the police are on their way.
I like it. I'm already downloading it.
Okay. So there you have it. Okay. There you have it.
Awesome. Especially the hands-free part, which is like the icing on the cake for me.
Yes. So all of you guys that have iPhones, I encourage you to go download this app. It's called Just Us app. Okay. And download it and see how you can tweak it, play with it, and this, that, and the other. This is another safety tool. I'll be glad when they put this on to make it compatible with Droid, so that everyone can have it. But for those of you now in that Apple system or the iPhone system, go and look at it. And a Black woman did this, honey. So go get this particular app.
Did she say how much it is? Because I just put it on and And it did a payment, but it didn't say how much it is.
Oh, it didn't say in here, so I don't know.
But I'm setting mine up now. Shoot.
Okay. So there you have it, people. So on that note,
looking like this, y'all. Looking like this.
And I like that as far as we notice about police and carrying on because that's the climate that we're in. Well, I'm glad she was saying about domestic violence and carrying on because a lot of times, people in those situations they have no way. They don't know what to do, and I think this here is going to give them everything.
Or walking on that college campus, or being that mother sitting at the bus stop at night waiting for that bus.
Yeah. This here, I think this is a good thing, people. So, in fact, what I'm hoping to do was I'm trying to reach out to her, see if we could bring her here on the show and talk about it even further. So, with that there was a good thing. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your time, your love. We hope we have inspired you. We hope that we have done something to change your thought processes, or at least get you to thinking differently, or expound or expand your horizons, honey, to get a conversation going. You don't have to agree with us, honey, but I just want you to have the discussion. And whatever you disagree with, honey, hopefully that sparked conversation. So you can sit down there and have your own discussion so that we can get this thing moving and grooving. Okay? So on that note, my darlings, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. And in the absence of the big red fella, the big guy ally, and Aunt Nikki, honey, we had from the Nighthawk Network, honey, we had your boy Eric Buckner, the CEO. We got your boy Derek over here with the Helena twist. Ooh, okay. And also, we got the Dr. Evangelist, darling. Miss Marla Facey over here, a Foxy, okay? Okay. Doing her thing. So, honey, on that note, honey, please understand this, child. And we thank you, we love you, and all of those shenanigans and all of that, honey. If you love us, tell all of your friends. If you hate us, tell all of your motherfucking enemies. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, everything that we're doing over here will move forward. Tomorrow is Sunday, honey, so we're going to have I said what I said Sundays. That's going to give you an opportunity to come on up in here. You're going to have 5 minutes to talk about whatever. Just don't come up in here wrong, honey, because, okay, you come out of a bag, I'm going to come out of a bigger bag. Understand and know. Understand and know. And I don't carry knives, honey. I carry meat cleavers. I'll cut. I'll cut. Okay. Ooh, back in the day, honey. Oh, back in the day, I used to carry my clutch bag, honey. Y'all remember in the grocery stores, you would go down the aisle and on the little side end cap, they used to have what they called a cheese slicer. It was a mini meat cleaver. That's what I used to carry. I sure did. Kept her nice and sharp, honey. If you did like this, you were bleeding. Okay.
Amen.
Somebody's at my gate.
Good night, my friends. God bless you all.
Okay. So on that note, my darlings, we love you, we love you, we love you, we love you, and thank you, honey. So and scene. Oh, it didn't hit.